going to record this bastard. There we go. All right. It starts in 3, 2, 1. Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Core, covering video games and the industry. What has it? That's not a phrase to say. I don't know why I said it that way. It's fine. Whatever. You know, if you're keeping score at home, Scott said another dumb thing. Write it down. It's good stuff. But we're here. It's me and John and Bo. Hello, John and Bo.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hello.
It's good to be here. Sorry about the day late, everybody. Appreciate the space you gave us. And I'm also happy to report John is not ill anymore. You sound pretty great today.
I mean, I feel it a little bit, but I do sound a lot better, and I'm willing to be on camera.
Yeah, that's a big step forward, I think, in our evolution as a weekly podcast.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah. John's back.
I'm sorry, you have to see me again.
John is back again. Hey, check this out. I don't do this very often, but we've had some listeners ask for it. And so I'm going to do it now. I'm going to start mentioning some of the games that Play Retro covers the week that we have a show. So if you don't even know what that is, it's another podcast I do with Brian Dunaway. And what do we talk about? Retro games. That's right. Stuff that's 20 plus years older and more. Every week is different. We're doing a lot of Halloween stuff right now. We just did the 2 Scooby-Doo mystery games on SNES and Genesis. Spoiler, the Genesis game is a cooler game, in my opinion. I know. So that's going on. And if you want to go check it out and check out our latest episode, see the video version, or just check out the podcast, you can find more at frogpants.com/playretro. And we should be playing Silent Hill F, although because we had to delay the show, that would normally have started a half an hour ago today. Yeah. But instead, we'll probably, I don't know, I haven't talked to John yet, probably Sunday again or something. I don't know.
Figure something out.
We'll figure it out. We don't know. My guess is based on where we're at, we're not going to finish before Halloween comes, and that's fine. There's no rule, right? We have to be done on Halloween.
There's no rule. There wasn't even a rule that we were going to play Silent Hill every week.
Right. There's no rule to anything.
There's no rules.
We make the rules. They don't exist. We make them or something like that. So we'll let you know, but that got a little disrupted by moving the show this week, and apologies from us. Bo, I see you're coiffed as ever. You know.
I have, my eyebrows on. And I've got my hair on.
Looking good.
Hair on.
Talk about some games.
One of those eyebrows just took a left when it meant to take a right. That was weird.
They're a work in progress.
Yeah.
Talk to the developers.
Yeah, it's early tech. We're workshopping it. But I know what we do have, and that is a bunch of news stuff. So let's get to it. Guys, a sad day, actually. One of the great names in 3D Ninja Gaiden and DOA, which stood for Dead or Alive, the fighting game series.
Yeah.
That creator.
Sometimes volleyball series.
Sometimes you're right. Sometimes sexy bikini volleyball series. I'm gonna butcher his name here, but Tomonobu Itagaki.
Itagaki.
You did it better than me, John. He's that was kind of sudden and pretty young for his age.
Yeah, we still don't know what the cause was. Died at 58. He was the creator of Dead or Alive, the Dead or Alive volleyball games, and the 3D takes on Ninja Gaiden. He posted. He had a message that went up on social media. I'll read it. It just said, "Final words. The flame of my life is about to go out. The fact that this message has been posted means that my time has finally come. I am no longer in this world. I have entrusted someone important to me with this final message. My life was a continuous battle which I kept winning. I caused a lot of trouble for others too. I take pride in having fought to the end and having followed my convictions. I have no regrets, but I am deeply sorry that I could not deliver a new work to my fans. I'm sorry, so it goes."
Oh, man. I mean, I think, if I had any regrets, it'd be those volleyball games. But whatever. They were fine.
I got to tell you, I was watching a stream of the volleyball games the other day, and my wife came in and she was like, "What's this?" And I told her about it because, of course, I played it back in the day.
Of course you did.
I was the right age for extreme beach volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You're not going to believe this game. This game's wild." And my wife, who was busy doing other things, sat down and watched it for a lot longer than you would have thought. We were both just kind of caught in the mesmerizing aura that was DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Yeah, I remember when it happened, I just was like, oh, I like those fighting games, but volleyball, what? And then I realized very quickly, oh, this is like hot lady volleyball. This isn't, I'm not going to, the dudes aren't in here from the roster.
This is the lady version of that scene from Top Gun.
Yeah, there you go. Fair turn is fair play. No, fair play. What is it? There's a phrase. Turnabout is fair play. There it is.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace to this guy. We'll never see whatever he had planned next.
I know there was a DOA movie.
Yes, and it's really bad.
Yeah. It's not good.
Horrendously horrible. Have you not seen it, Bo? You should see it.
No, I've not seen it. I just did a quick search because I was looking up the games, and I was like, wait, they made a movie of Dead or Alive? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
John, did you play the follow-up, Extreme 2, on Zack Island?
I thought they all were on Zack Island. I think the whole story is that Zack, voiced by Dennis Rodman, won a lot of money and bought an island.
Is that true? Is that real?
Yeah, that's true. No, that's 100% true.
Look at this girl.
She's digging in the sand. When have everybody wants to just dig in the sand sometimes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely get down like this when I'm digging. Like she's at.
How else are you supposed to look
How else are you going to look at that seashell, Scott? You got to examine it before you pick it up.
Holy schmoopy. This was what? Xbox and PS2 and all that era? Oh, that's 360, this game. All right, well. Anyway, rest in peace. We'll never see what he has next, but I don't know what he's done recently. Like, what had he done recently? Anything like of note? Like,
he started his own studio, I believe, and they had yet to put out a game, if I remember correctly.
All right, so maybe something will still come out of whatever he started there. We'll have to see. Some other bad news. Remedy CEO to step down after, I forgot this game even came out, but Firebreak, comes up real short. The Remedy CEO's name is, Tero Vertala has stepped down from Remedy Entertainment. Not to be confused with the other guy who drinks coffee real slow and is the face of Max Payne. Not him. He's still around.
No.
Yeah, you can't fire him.
I mean, this is... look, if a game fails, I would much rather see the CEO step down than a bunch of people who worked on it get fired.
Yeah, I would be the same.
Because I tend to be of the mind that if a game failed, it wasn't a bottom to top issue. It was probably more a top to bottom issue.
Yeah. I didn't play this at all. Did anybody play Firebreak? I feel like it just came out in a year where nobody...
Remedy games are not... I believe this was another case of a studio known for strong single-player narrative games, and they went, what if we made a multiplayer game? And... that, as much as anybody might say, like, oh, Alan Wake is amazing. What's the one that we played a lot of, Scott? The other one that's in their series that's part of the universe and all of that. Control.
Yeah, I love Control. All-time.
Is an amazing game.
One of the
but
best.
At no point are you or I going to go, that gameplay is so good, I just want more of that gameplay.
Yeah.
The gameplay is functional enough to carry an amazing narrative and world and ideas. Mm-hmm. And when you pitch a multiplayer game, I think you have to have gameplay that people are going to be like, man, I just want to play that. And nobody hears Remedy and goes, hell yeah, the multiplayer, let's get into it.
Yeah. Is this game a sequel to Control? Because I'm like on the website.
It's in the universe.
Yeah,
in universe.
It's a 3-player co-op first-person shooter set within the enigmatic Federal Bureau of Control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they thought some of that would carry over, but I also even if it had been like a really good thing, maybe it is good. I don't know, but I just didn't hear shit about it. Like nothing. It's the most
We saw some trailers for it on the shows we did. I mean, it's got to stand out from the rest for you to remember it, I suppose.
Yeah, like at the events and stuff. Yeah, I guess they did, but I don't remember any.
You know, yeah, like here, like I was sort of I feel like I was always aware of this game. I just wasn't interested. But that doesn't mean it's not good. Like I think there's like two threads here. This game might be just fine, like a fun game. But
it could be.
For the way the business works, they need this game to be, financially successful like week one
I'll give you some.
I think this is a case of them not knowing the business they're getting into. I talked about this last week, where it's just like the multiplayer game as a service space is a different business than here's your campaign, tentpole, AAA release that they've done before and have shown they know how to do. So I think there's two pathways here. There's one where you release the game and you're not expecting it to do a lot of sales because it's going to ramp up in the long run, potentially, depending on what sort of update plans and fun shit you got.
Yeah.
Or you do release it and it's a big deal because you already have an audience that's, salivating for your game as a service, like Arc Raiders. Right? Arc Raiders is basically very similar genre to this. It's 3-player co-op. It's technically, I'm sure, different, but there are people who enjoyed the finals, and Bark Studios people know who they are. They have inroads with popular streamers, and they're doing things people like. Like, they're arguably, you could swap the games around, depending on that narrative that gets you to this point. And they didn't do that. So, I mean...
Well, also you say, hey, the people who made the finals are making a multiplayer game. And I go, oh, I bet that's going to be interesting.
It's in their wheelhouse.
Right? Like, even if it's not something that is for me necessarily, I go, oh, okay, yeah. You say Remedy is making a multiplayer game, and I go, why? And it's not to say that every game company has to pigeonhole themselves into, like, one area, but I think for multiplayer games especially, you do have to find a way to court that audience to be successful. And I don't think intrinsically that audience is built in. And I don't think they had a good plan to bring people into it. It was like, hey, all you people who like our single player narrative games, don't you want to try this multiplayer game? And the answer is a resounding obvious no.
Yeah. I mean, you have to really blow people's socks off to change that narrative. Also, the flip way. So this is an interesting question because we're almost, it got delayed, but we're almost to the release of Crimson Desert early next spring. Crimson Desert's the other direction. It's like this company known for this MMO with crazy combat and all this stuff. And they're like, hey, we're making a big single player game next. Do they have the same hill to climb, or do you think that's different?
I think that there's enough enough element overlap to make it intriguing. Because I obviously I haven't played Black Desert, but I've heard Bo talk about it. And he talks about it in a way where it's like, oh, the combat is something incredible. Obviously, it has a really good look to it. Those are two big tent poles that any single player game has to have.
Yeah.
But even that said, I've heard Bo talk about the narrative in Black Desert, and there is a part of me that goes, boy, I sure hope they can get it on a storyline and like making an interesting world. Because it sounds like that doesn't exist necessarily in Black Desert, but at least I'm going to be intrigued by the combat and the graphics and the look. And so I think it's enough to like foot in the door. And if they can nail the other area that's not typically as strong, I think they can have something really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like asking Blizzard to make a single player game, like if they did, it would probably get a lot of sales.
I mean, they have, but they haven't, they've always had that element.
You still have that.
Right.
I think when you go multiplayer to single player, you have that audience that's willing to like check out your single player thing.
Yeah. Plus, they've always been good at saying, "Hey, Warcraft or Starcraft or Diablo or any of these things, they're all hop down, play the campaign. You don't need anybody for that." But also, we have this really strong multiplayer mode, and that's always been a part of every release. So it's the expectations for them are almost a third thing. Right? It's just so weird to me how we do this, because Blizzard, if anyone, has figured out a way to marry single player and multiplayer pretty well, kind of across the board. Even WoW is at the time when it launched, it was easily the most soloable game, and still is, of any of the MMOs that existed then. They changed that whole thing and flipped it and said, yeah, you want to take your priest around and do a bunch of quests and get shit done on your own? You can do it in this game pretty much and have a great time. So I feel like they've been better at what we're talking about than most, but it's hard.
I just think you go from a game as a service company to a single player game is easier than transitioning the other way. I mean, keep in mind too, the game, I'm just looking at reviews too. The game is not that good apparently, to everybody universally. There's problems, stale content, stuff like that. And so that word of mouth hurts you, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you don't launch well, but everyone's like, this thing's amazing, and a lot of word of mouth gets out. Like No Man's Sky,
Sure.
for example.
Yeah.
But the other thing is we don't really just they're releasing this game during an era like this year's. There's been a ton of releases, so people who would play at this game might be playing Battlefield, might be playing any number of big releases in this general area. There are also games as a service, and people just can't play multiple games at the same time. Really, like they've got things they're interested in, and if this is third place, then it just means it's not. Why even buy it?
Yeah, maybe this guy really sold it, the guy that's quitting or stepping down. The new guy's name is Henry Osterland. So look for him.
Yeah. Is Remedy owned by anybody? Like, would this be a victim? Would this be a thing that was done because PlayStation told them to, or something like that?
I think they may get some. If anything, it's Microsoft money because they used to do a lot of exclusive Xbox stuff. But I think they're independent.
Because like I'm looking at their YouTube page, and it's like a lot of their, they had a lot of views, I guess, on their gameplay overview and stuff, like in the 100,000. Not a ton, but it's not that nobody knew this was coming out. But yeah, I just don't think people were interested.
Oh, here's the history. Remedy Entertainment is an independent studio, is not owned by any publisher or platform holder currently. Remedy is publicly traded, however, on the NASDAQ Helsinki ticket. They self-develop and partner with projects like Epic with Alan Wake 2, Control with 505, and that sort of thing. They were founded in 95 in Finland, headquartered in Espoo. That's a great name for a place, Espoo. And they retain all their IPs now, Control and Alan Wake, except for they do not control Max Payne. That's 2K holds on to that forever.
Yeah, well, it could just be that this was a dud and change in leadership's needed, and it's not, big deal. Maybe he's just as happy to give the reins over now that this project's.
Yeah. I say good luck to Henry Osterland is what I say. That guy needs all our.
I wouldn't count these guys out. It's just like, well, they're going to make another Control or Alan Wake, and, it'll probably do.
Yeah.
It'll probably be much anticipated.
I mean, to me, I think, again, the big thing that mattered to me about this story is that I respect that a CEO would step down rather than firing the team or something like that. Because more often than not, that's what we see. Yeah. We see, that game was bad. All right, we'll fire everybody who worked on it, and the people who pushed for it or, supported it or made sure stuff like that was chased or happened, they continue to be there making bad decisions. So I'm not to say that this guy who stepped down was guaranteed behind it. But again, I tend to think, let those people leave, let the other people work on something better.
Yeah, if anything, I'm guessing like a lot of these negative reviews are basically just saying no one's on here, no one's playing. Like that's the negative side of it. It's not so much about the gameplay. That would be good if everybody was playing. He may have just championed it and said, I think we can break into this space. We're a weird underdog, so why not Remedy? If anyone can do it, we could. And maybe that wasn't enough. I mean, I'm making up a whole narrative here that I don't actually know, but that sounds right to me.
But I think as a general philosophy, the way I look at things is if your project is having trouble because of individuals, then leadership handles those. You fire them along the road. Yeah. Jerry over there isn't playing nice, isn't working with people. Let's get rid of Jerry while we're working on this project. If the project bombs, then it's the higher-ups that were the problem.
Yeah, and that's rare to see those guys go anywhere when something crashes and burns like this. So
yeah.
We'll see what else they do. John, there's a Vampire Survivor story here. I'm interested in that. What do you got?
Yeah, well, you remember when they did that Ode to Castlevania DLC?
I do.
And it was huge.
Yeah, that was a deal. That was a downloadable content that was bigger than the original game, and it was Castlevania as hell, which is ironic because the whole thing originally was kind of sprites from the thing, and it was such a big deal. And you figured that DLC is done. That's it.
Yeah. Well, they're doing DLC for their DLC.
I mean, that's great, though, because it was successful for them. People
They're doing a Ode to Castlevania DLC update to the Ode to Castlevania DLC. They're adding 16 new characters, 16 new weapons, and 8 new remixed tracks to the game, it is an insane amount of additional content to add to what was already an insanely big DLC.
And they didn't get into how many weekends it took to bring this extra stuff to the DLC.
Well, it's not out yet, I don't believe.
Okay. It's on its way.
So they're apparently still working on it. I don't know, maybe just a weekend hasn't hit yet, so it hasn't been able to get done.
Well, to be fair, and this is quite funny, I went to the Ponkel is like the name of his company, the guy who made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a solo dev stroke of luck somehow turned into a 25 plus person game dev adventure. So there's now 25 people working on Vampire Survivors.
Yeah. Making content, man.
Although I guess they're working on other stuff, right? They made Kill the Brickman or something.
Yeah, I've been playing that a little bit. I like that game. I don't know if that's just, I assume it's internal thing, or is it just them publishing? I don't know. But
they might just be publishing it because Kill the Brickman's from Donut Store.
Oh.
And now Games has made Berserker Die. But like, it sounds like mostly what they do is they make Vampire Survivors, but it's now 25 people making Vampire Survivors.
That video is weird. Did you see that, John?
It ends really weird. It ends really weird. Yeah, it's so good.
Look at this again, Bo. You need
Everything is so low budget. I love it.
It's like there's this whole thing. Okay. Yeah. And then suddenly it's a bunch of live action. Like, look at this.
Here's the 2 mummies.
Yeah. There's a
jester and
I don't understand. I love it though. Don't change what they're doing over there.
They're just having a good time. You know what? It's real nice to see people just goofing around with their products rather than a lot of the corporate polished crap we get.
Yeah. Who's gonna?
I wonder what they're gonna end up making, if they're gonna make something new with all those devs or not.
Oh, they got to at some point. Can't milk that cow for too. Although that cow has spawned so many.
I feel like I'm looking at all the stuff on Steam. Yeah. You've got Vampire Survivors. You've got Ode to Castlevania. You got Operation Guns. You got Emergency Meeting, Legacy of the Moonspell, Tides of the Foscari, Clover Survive. Oh, that's a bundle. And then Emerald Diorama. Yeah, that's free though. I don't know.
There's a bunch of free.
Yeah, none of it's like expensive. The overall, if you get all DLC bundle plus OST and base game, it's $11 right now.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's so worth it. I love it. I love it so much. I've played 138 hours of Vampire Survivor.
Damn, dude.
It's so good. It's so good.
It spawned a subgenre that I love and I can't get enough of right now. And you'll hear me talk more about it when I play this week. I love it. Absolutely love it. Ironically, though, I really don't like the OG one. I don't like Vampire Survivors very much.
I don't know why. It is the gold freaking standard.
I don't know.
I don't know. Best.
I don't know why. There's something. I don't know what it is. Some psychology with it.
Somebody who loves Megabonk, who
you just like trying new things
so many of those.
It's like after you play it the third time, you're like, this isn't new. I need new.
It's true, but it never really grabbed me. But all these other ones, like the Deep Rock one,
which one do you have the most hours played in? Which Survivors
probably Soulstone Survivors and Megabonk, and there's one other one I play pretty frequently. I picked up another one this week. I actively look for them. I like them. And they're always like $5, sometimes 10 if they're...
Play a lot of Brotato.
I loved Brotato. I was kind of different, though. Brotato had a different whole thing going. I mean, it wasn't just... it's not purely the Vampire Survivors model. It was earn money, spend it on new weapons, but between matches, like, it's just different.
Vampire Survivors is easily the most passive of all of them, I think. Like, in terms of, like, you do the least in it.
Yeah.
But the way you combo the amount of items, the amount of upgrades, the amount of, like, ways they play with that passive nature to the game, I think is still... Nobody has come close to it.
Well, they will probably do something rad next, but my guess is they're going to ride this for a bit. You know, why hurry and do your 3D one or your fancy, you know, let more people buy your Ode to Castlevania 1.14 or whatever the hell they're calling it. And you'll do just fine. Good on them. Good on him and his 25-man team. They have a lot of weekends ahead of them. So that's all I'm saying. They can do a lot of games every weekend.
Do a lot.
Also, PC Gamer put up this thing they do every year. Their updated PC games list, which is supposed to be the 100 best games of all time on PC. I think that
nobody had an opinion about it.
It's a Herculean effort that I respect on the level of, hey, they did the work, but it's impossible for any of this to be definitive. It suffers from massive recency bias, even though I agree with a lot of the amazing games they've listed. It's just like, well, all right. It's the top 20 are basically just a mirror of the last 5 years. In fact, I'll jump straight to. We're not going to go through all this, obviously, but number 10, Red Dead Redemption, hit PC in 2019. Sorry, Red Dead Redemption 2. Elden Ring at number 9, came out just a couple years ago. Balatro, last year? Yeah, 2024. Caves of Quad. I don't know how you say that word.
Cud, probably.
Cud? It's just Cud? All right. That's on there, 2024. Stardew Valley, 2016. Still pretty recent, though, in the large scheme of things. Crusader Kings, 2020. And at number 4, Witcher Wild Hunt, 2015. Again, not a PC exclusive either, so I'm not sure that belongs on here, but that's fine. Dwarf Fortress at number 3. That's the oldest in the top 10 at 2006, but technically their new version of this is the new hotness, so it's kind of new again. Number 2, Disco Elysium Final Cut from 2019. And finally, Baldur's Gate 3 from 2023. Like I say, this is just like, hey, what's some good games from the last decade? They're all here. And then the whole list is just like everything from Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Grand Theft Auto 5 Enhanced, Deep Rock Galactic, Gary's Mod, like the usual suspects, with some additions this year. Now, I think the reason they did this list is an easy answer.
They do it every year.
Yeah, they do it every year. That's number one. First of all, you've already invested the time, so you may as well maintain this thing, right? But 2, it drives clicks and drives traffic and it drives conversation, which means it drives people to PCGamer.com. So that's the main reason I think they do this.
Yeah, this year. I mean, I'm never going back.
Did this list offend? Tell me how this list touched you. And
I mean, it's just this list is like I've always I'm not a fan of lists to begin with, but I've always felt the PC Gamer list was kind of an okay list because they tried to look at the history of gaming, what the big milestones were, and this list is just like beyond trash. Like they did this thing where you talked about recency bias, which is true, but they're like, we're trying to update it, right? But there's games on there I've never even heard of. Particularly in like the lower band, but this is just like they went from let's make like a list of like important milestone tentpole games that celebrate the history of PC gaming to just being like, what are my favorite games? Let's put those on there.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Like number 100, the top of the list is a game called Unavowed, which I played on a stream. It's a point and click noir kind of alien adventure. It's very good. Would I put it in the top 100 of all time?
I mean, I think the thing, and this is the deceptive thing about it, is when you're working with 100, sure, why not? You have 100 games to work with, but
that's barely any room.
Yeah. I think that if you look at how they score it, I can understand how they wound up with the list they wound up with, but to me, the flaws of this scoring system are right out of the gate with how they rank it. So basically, and I think it's to the detriment of the list, because if it's like, hey, here's the 100 PC games we really like, that's a less controversial list. But they try to back it up with these charts and these graphs and these little bars to show you, oh, look at how much of this meter it's filling up. And this is its score. Like Vegeta's got his scouter on and is like, it's over 9,000. It must be in the top 100.
Yeah.
Well, they say that the way they break it down is quality. How good is it? Personal rating as far as the caliber of the game, and that counts for 60% of the top 100 score. Importance, how noteworthy it is, counts for 20%, and freshness, how unique is it, is 20% of the score. And I think this is already a bad metric
those are bad
to gauge by, because I think quality is important, but I think you have to have quality at the time, and I think you have to have quality long term. Because there are games that at the time they came out were amazing, incredible. Do they hold up by today's standards now? Maybe not so much. Gaming has evolved. But I think that should be two metrics that are weighted differently to qualify. I also think that if you're going to say this is PC games, I think you need to qualify importance to PC as its own category.
Agreed.
Because my favorite video game of all time is Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is available on the PC. Should that be on the list of top 100 PC games of all time? No, because its importance is vastly more important on the Super Nintendo. And the best version of Chrono Trigger is on the Nintendo DS. So it really doesn't have a lot of importance in the realm of PC, but it's a very good video game. So does it make the top 100? Maybe somewhere in there, but I think having an importance to the life of PC needs to be a factor in this, and it needs to be a percentage factor to it. And so with all that in mind, I did ask you guys, I told you I would ask you this. What do you guys think should be number one?
Well, I said in a second, but I want to talk about the Chrono Trigger thing and this is what sent me through the roof on this list. Balatro made me mad enough. Great game. Doesn't belong on the list. But they put Final Fantasy X Remaster on this list. You can't think of, there's 100 spots, but you know what just really stood out? The remaster of what might be considered one of the great ones.
Well, John, can you speak to that and say whether that is as amazing as it sounds if you're going to put it on your list of top 100? Is it that good of a remaster?
Again, I think I would rank it very low on PC relevance.
I put Chrono Trigger above that. If we're talking about like everything Final Fantasy has been re-released and remade, not that I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth would belong on the list, but like, why not that if you're gonna put 10 on there? It's like whoever did this list, it like sucks at their job. Like, speaking of people stepping,
it's a bunch of people. I don't agree that Final Fantasy X should be on this list. Now, granted, I'm going to be a controversial person to ask that too, because I don't like Final Fantasy X very much. In the grand pantheon of Final Fantasies, it's not top of my list, so it wouldn't even be my favorite Final Fantasy. Do I think there is a place for modern day games that would exist on this list purely on the quality of their game in general? So looking at stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2, a phenomenal, completely like unique, you don't get it really anywhere else game. Yeah, I think that should be there. But in a list like this, where it's like, these are the top PC games, I think it should be considered a lot lower because, again, it doesn't have that cachet on the PC. If I remember correctly, it didn't even come out on PC right away.
No, it was a year and a half later almost.
So it should get low marks in relevance to PC and all of that. Should it still be on the list based purely on its quality? Yeah, 100%. I think it could be on the list of top 100 games.
It's the definitive version of the game.
Good.
Yeah, and it is definitely definitive. It's the prettiest. It runs at the best frame rates. It's the most bug-free. It's the version you want to play if you play it today. No question about any of that. I'd even give it a bit of a pass if it had launched day and date on PC. But a game that came out a year and a half later that was a console exclusive, that was already amazing and made its mark, and then doing that again for PC and then saying, yep, that's number 10, it's a little weird.
It depends on how you're measuring the criteria. Like, my criteria would be like, how big of a tentpole was it? And then what did it push forward for gaming, either technologically or culturally? Those are like my two big bars. Most of the games on that list are not going to be the ones you're going to want to play today.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if like Vampire Survivors is, crazy, awesome, good game. Doesn't make the 100. That doesn't mean it's a bad game. It doesn't make the top 100.
I think that's crazy that it wouldn't be in the top 100 for you.
I mean, it is number 72.
I think that's insane, and I think you're crazy.
Yeah,
it's a fad.
I don't think it's a fad.
You're crazy.
Bo is nuts about the fad part. It's not a fad.
It is a fact.
It has
In 10
birthed.
years, no one's going to be playing these kinds of games, and no one's going to give a crap.
I think it's going to be the opposite. I think it birthed a subgenre that will be iterated on in 10 years and still be going strong, just like
it'll
others.
still be around. I just don't think it'll be that. I think it's something we're enjoying right now.
I think I asked for what you would attempt to make an objective list, and I think that's the most subjective shit I've heard you say.
Well, I haven't finished. It might end up being on the list. I haven't done the work, so if I'm out of spots, then maybe I have to consider it.
Maybe it
right?
slips
so,
in. Yeah.
So, like, I'm gonna be like Baldur's Gate on this list. 3 is on this list. I don't think Baldur's Gate 3 goes in the top 100 potentially. I'm not sure. I haven't done the work. It's got to like earn its way, and I have to have done the thought work on it. But like Half-Life 2, it's like
yeah, but you're not saying there. I'm unsure. You're saying it doesn't make the list.
Currently, it has to earn its way on the list. It's not an auto include.
But basically,
I'm not like automatically these games are on the list because I'm like I need to think about it. And
yeah,
those games like we're talking about impact to PC gaming, right? So Vampire Survivors is arguably on everything. It is a cultural phenomenon, but are there 100 games bigger and more important than that? Maybe. I'm not going to auto include it for sure.
I mean, here the way I look at it is just hearing the back and forth that you guys just had and this conversation in general is further proof to me that this is an impossible thing. It just cannot be definitive. There's no way you can. It doesn't matter how small or large your list. If you finish that list and you do all your due diligence, what was the impact? What was the technical impact? What was the gameplay impact? All those things you just said, all these criterias. If somebody just spent their life's work doing that, it still wouldn't be definitive.
I just have a hard
you would
time
still
putting a game
immediately
released
get someone to look at it and go,
I'm having a hard
wrong.
time putting a game that has 2 sprites with 2 frames of animation on a top 100.
I know, and that's the area where you're being extremely subjective about it, I think. But
well, that's my analysis.
I do think this. I think that you're approaching it, and this is where we're different, and this is why I disagree with you, is because you approach it from earn your spot on the list. Mm-hmm. I approach it from, all right, let's assume anything can be on the list, and let's work it out, and stuff will drop off.
Yeah.
You're a glass is half empty kind of person, and I'm a glass is half full kind of guy.
Yeah, and I'm a why bother in the first place guy.
Could I theoretically stop disagreeing with me, bro?
I'm not just. It's what Scott said. It's recency bias. Everything that's out in the last 5 years has to be like dealt with harsher because when you're in the moment, things seem more awesome than they actually are in retrospect. So I'm compensating for this like parameter. Mm-hmm. So you can take it personally and be like, you're out of touch, you're incorrect. I'm saying just what Scott's saying, recency bias is like a thing, and I'm guarded over anything that's super popular, including Baldur's Gate 3, like a game that I love so much because it's of the now, and there's a blindness to that aspect when you're ranking these things.
Yeah, but even if you get better at like not having the recency bias, which I agree with, there's a lot of that in this list, especially in the top 20. There's still this problem. It's okay. There's still this problem, even if you solve that. Of okay, well, you solved that little bit. Like it's still not going to be right. I don't even think a top 10. I don't even think a bottom 10 is a thing that any two people will agree on. You know what I mean?
The gorilla game, the worst game.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that this does a good job of illustrating that. But if you're going to do top 100 games, and I guess to be fair, their list is called of 2025, which does imply not this is the greatest list of all time. That's not how they're billing it. That's how a lot of us read it, because it's like, well, it's coming from all time, therefore it must be of all time. But it sounds like the intent behind naming it, for right or for wrong, again, I disagree with a lot on the list, is that you're booting these games up in 2025. These are the 100 best games for you to boot in 2025. And I feel like a lot of the areas where I disagree with them come from a place, and you'll see this when I tell you what I think should be number one on this list. Mine comes from let's look at the scope of all the history of PC gaming, right? And I think they're looking at it very much more focused on somebody's like, hey, I want to get into PC gaming. I just bought a new gaming PC. What game should I play here in 2025? And it would make sense to play devil's advocate here that list would favor newer experiences than older experiences.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the fact, though, that you got a list without Quake, without Skyrim, without StarCraft.
Skyrim's not on the list. Like
World of Warcraft is not on here. Like, how is World of Warcraft not on this list?
Yeah, WoW's not on here. StarCraft's not on here. Like, they smoke.
I don't even think EverQuest is on here, is it?
And to your point,
no, it isn't.
They said it was 2025, but they did feel the need to include those historical games, right? Like, Doom's still on there, Diablo 2's still on there. I think there was this power struggle internally over this debate, and someone with bad ideas won out and got to pick like recent games in the name of being relevant and fresh versus actually being like standard bearers, is how I viewed them, for like historically what would be considered to be the most important games to PC gaming. And the fact remains that modern games are not really PC exclusive. So the list is a bit anachronistic, and it probably shouldn't include a lot of new games because they're out on all systems and they're not really the PC vertical. So,
see, that is another area where I disagree, because I think that I get where you're coming from and I understand the mindset, and to a degree I agree with it. But I think for me, the way I look at it is, again, putting aside what they might have been wanting to do, and we're talking about, I'm trying to put together John Jagger's list of the top 100 PC games of all time. All time includes yesterday just as much as it includes 40 years ago. And I think that, can you get historical relevance for a game that came out yesterday? No, you can't, which is going to naturally air it further down on the list if it makes the list at all. But I think to say, because we don't know that, it has no business here, I think you then might as well say, okay, well, this isn't the greatest of all time. This is the greatest from
some dude's perspective.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. Because if you're not going to give the modern games a chance to at least stand shoulder to shoulder with the old games, then you're not making the greatest games of all time list. You're just saying these are old PC games I really like.
Well, I think it's more just that you give it some time so you have a good perspective on it. So, if it is a good game this year, maybe you're like, well, we're not sure to include it yet, but we'll keep it on a watch list. And then in 5 years' time, you can measure its impact.
See, I'd rather include it and drop it if it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, you can.
Is it relevant now? It's the year is 2025.
You're knocking
Does it matter right now? Yes.
You're knocking something off the list, like Divinity Original Sin 2 is not on this list, and I think that's the superior game for a list like this than Baldur's Gate 3 because of the impact that it had.
That ebb and flow of, something got knocked off for something modern. Great. Maybe next year, if that proves to be an incorrect decision, you fix it. But for this year, for 2025, there has to be a way for games of this year to stand up. They're not on a holding list. That doesn't represent of all time. That represents a holding list because this just came out, and therefore I don't think it belongs on here.
Here's what they should do. I have a solution for this whole thing. Here's all they have to do. No more definitive 100 lists. IGN tried it. They quit. IGN quit doing theirs entirely. I don't know if anyone noticed, but years ago they quit doing it because it was this problem.
Well, nobody noticed because it's IGN.
Yeah. Well, who knows what they're doing?
I didn't notice because it's IGN.
But here's what you do. You make one for every decade of if you're going to stay on PC Gamer, and it's not games in general, it's like, all right, well, 85 to 95. Here's your 10-year span. What are the 20 most influential, important, impactful games of that era? Therefore, quote unquote, the best of that era. And then the next 10 years, do it by decade. And that gives you a chance also to do a lot of referential stuff. Like, this is very iterative of this thing that came before it. We've mentioned that in our 80s list or whatever. And now you've got a list that is just a lot more informative, first of all, to people who don't know much about those decades. But secondly, you can give these things their due. If you have a list about the 90s and you don't include Doom and Quake and just the first-person shooter revolution, you're doing it wrong. And so instead of making a list where you're like, well, I only got 100 and we have all of games of all time to put in here, I just think you're asking to suck. You're just asking for it to be bad.
We can argue about the finer points of how we do the list, and I know John and I would have plenty to debate, but like we can all agree that this PC Gamer list like is really below standard for what they usually
It's not great.
I can say for sure that no matter, and I even, when I re-examine the title and I go, okay, well, let's look at it from a 2025 perspective, that almost got me on board with this list of maybe we should cut them a little slack, you guys. They didn't say these are the greatest of all time. The fact that Morrowind is on here and Skyrim is not, are you really telling? I like Morrowind more than Skyrim. Let me be clear. I think Morrowind is a better Elder Scrolls game than Skyrim. But if you're telling me that my friend said, hey, I just got a new gaming PC and I need the best gaming experiences, I'm interested in the Elder Scrolls. Which Elder Scrolls should I get? I would never say Morrowind over Skyrim.
No.
Never.
No. Skyrim.
I'd never do that.
Skyrim
you
has.
might say Oblivion. Oblivion's pretty good.
Yeah, you could say that.
Oblivion Remastered might be a good case, but again, they immediately shoot themselves in the foot. I think no matter how you examine this list from whatever metric, I think there are some very glaring issues with it.
And no RTS a hallmark of PC gaming growth. Not there. Nothing. You can say
no RTSs. That like this list is so bad. Dude.
It's pretty effed.
It's garbo, like big time.
I also think that a lot of these lists uses a team of people to come to the conclusion, as if like the fact that a council agreed on this gives it credibility. But I think our discussion here just showed why having a team of people working on this is not a good idea, because how Bo would approach this versus how I would approach this versus how Scott would approach this are all different. And if you told the three of us that we have to come to a consensus, I think you would get inconsistencies that reflect exactly what we're seeing, where it's like a lot of recency bias, because again, these are the best games here in 2025, but then you got someone like Bo who's like, no, you got to play the classics, man. You gotta pay homage to what came before.
So
then you got Scott who's saying like, you gotta have Doom and Quake. That's gotta be on the list, and you end up with a list that serves nobody.
Yeah,
because it serves.
Well, I would
exactly
clearly delineate at the outset what the list is of. This is not the top 100 list of games you should play immediately and that are the most fun. These are the top 100 most important games to PC gaming. Thus, the best of all time.
Yeah, or
like you even said earlier, at the time that they were live and relevant, they were the best things, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and they do just say the top 100 PC games, not of all time, not forever. I mean, to give them a little credit.
I don't feel they clearly communicate. It says top 100 2025. That's the title.
But that's what I mean, is even if you take it by their word and give them as much leeway as possible, I don't think this list reflects that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that for sure. But to their credit, they're not saying these are the best of all time or even these are the best of the year. They're saying literally their headline is the top 100 PC games, period. Welcome to the and then they say welcome to the 2025 edition of the PC Gamer Top 100, our annual list of the best PC games you can play. Like, it's vague on purpose. They're trying to have it both ways. They want the controversy and the traffic. Yes, I promise you that's the main that's the main thing here.
Yeah.
It feels like it was not on purpose, though. It feels like more the product of incompetency. You're saying it's on purpose. I'm saying it's just actual incompetence. It's incoherent.
They're just not good at it.
Yeah, but we're both guessing, so we have no way of knowing.
I think where I take umbrage is that they dress it up as if this is a scientifically approached, like assigned numerical value. We've quantified it. The numbers don't lie, and it's clearly just a couple doofuses' subjective opinion.
My in-head narrative of what happened is somebody came along with an idea to change things up, and there was a faction that was very mad about it internally. And they landed on where they landed on, because in the same list that you're putting Metaphor Refantasio, you also have Doom. And I feel like those are two different perspectives on how the list should be done. Because like Metaphor is like obviously just a good RPG game, like great,
yeah,
but it doesn't belong on this list. I mean, it's not even a PC only release. Like, what is this doing on the list?
Well, I mean,
same with any of the Dark Souls games. To be completely frank with you, However, I think what do they call like there was probably a faction inside the people making this list that were very upset, like the grognards or the that's not a PC game. They're like, you're being a gatekeeper. Let me put metaphor on here, and that's kind of how it went.
I like that we basically have a 4-part miniseries for Netflix on how this went down. I want to see. I want. What's his face that does all the documentaries? The Irish lad. Oh,
Danny O'Dwyer.
Let me get a Danny O'Dwyer 4-part mega doc on how this list is made.
I'd be all into it. But if you want to read this for yourself, go ahead.
Before we go, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Scott, if you were trying to put together an objective list, not a Scott Johnson necessarily list, it's still going to be your list, but you're trying to be objective.
Yeah.
What is the greatest PC video game of all time?
I'm going to say that I would choose, and again, it's going to be me and nobody else because this is how this works. This is the whole crux of the problem. But I think Quake deserves it. And let me give you a short pitch on why.
Okay.
Quake 1 and subsequent Quakes, but certainly the first Quake, showed that 3D was not only possible, but super useful in precision shooting, and would end up being the impetus for just about everything that came since. So you can point at things like Half-Life, you can point at Fear and a million other shooters that do their own interesting things. What is that? What am I hearing? It sounds like corn nuts or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to eat while we're doing a show. My bad. I'm offside. Sorry.
No, you're good. I thought it was me. I was like, where is that coming from? What was I saying? So I think all paths lead back to Quake, and it is a seminal moment in gaming that opened floodgates to what would become the Half-Lifes, the Gary's mods, the millions of ways of shooters working, and then the combining of genres. You take your Diablo and you mush it with a shooter, and you got Borderlands. Like all of that goes right back to the Quake days and the Quake mod days when people were making maps and gameplay mods and saying, "Whoa, capture the flag! That's a new idea." Team Fortress came out of Quake. Anything cool that we do now with shooters, which has been a very strong PC thing, a lot longer than consoles. They owe it all to Quake. And you could say, well, what about Doom? What about Wolfenstein? No, I understand they're important. Those are baby steps toward what would be the floodgate, and the floodgate is Quake. There's my pitch.
Okay. Bo, I think maybe more than anyone on this show, which I guess is just me saying Scott, I'm very curious to see what you would pick. What do you think is objectively the best?
I think you're going to be annoyed. It's probably just Doom. Doom.
Okay. Well, you're probably closer to where I'm coming from on how important.
But do you want to give a reason, or are you just going to say Doom and drop the mic and walk away?
I feel like it's self-evident. I don't. I've talked a lot about this enough. I've said my piece. It's Doom. Half-Life 2, maybe. Like there's a debate, but it's the usual.
Bo said Doom and drop the mic, and I respect it.
Yeah.
If I was going to pick one, I would say Half-Life 2.
There you go.
I think Half-Life 2 is, yes, it stands on the back of a lot of things that came before, but you can almost draw a line in PC gaming pre Half-Life 2 and post Half-Life 2. And I will say that a ton of the games on this list of 100 would disappear if Half-Life 2 didn't exist.
I agree. It's important.
This list would drop a ton, but, and here's where, because I know, I have a feeling you're going to say it's the same thing with Quake, because Quake led to it, so why not? But again, it goes back to what you just said, which is, well, then why not Castle Wolfenstein? Why not that?
No,
I draw a line with
right.
Half-Life 2, because not only was it a change in shooters, it was a change in how we approached games graphically.
Yeah.
It's how we changed physics. There are things that Half-Life 2 still does that games still can't seem to get right, from AI, from physics, from immersion. It still looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It still plays good.
Yeah.
You can still tell someone to go play Half-Life 2 and they will have a good experience. They're not going to look at it and go, what the hell is this? That you don't need to give them a ton of context and go, hey guys, look, I know this looks bad. I know this plays bad, but trust me, it changed things in a big way. maybe a little bit of that as we continue to get there. And even this article, because I looked to see if it was on there, because I was like, if I'd put it at 1, what did they put it at?
They put it at.
And I went and looked it up, and one of the things they criticize is that they say it's like kind of a big physics demonstration more than a video game. Mm-hmm. And I disagree. That whole section where we don't go to Ravenholm is one of the scariest bits of gaming, and it's not even a horror game.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
That's almost a straight up shooter. Yes, you can use the gravity gun in some fun ways, and it's a showcase for the gravity gun in a lot of ways. But I think Half-Life 2 hits all the criteria of it launched Steam, ladies and gentlemen.
It did, but it also let me say this before we go too much further. It also is DNA connected to its parent. Literally, the Source engine, Source 1 and 2. Were all based on the Quake engine, Quake 2 engine, to be specific.
But again, that's like saying, okay, well, we got to put Pong on there because without it, we wouldn't have had video games. Like, yes, a lot of things.
Whoa, John's coughing.
A lot of things lead to other things. If you're going to put Half-Life 2 up there, well, why not Half-Life 1? You couldn't have had Half-Life 2 if you didn't have Half-Life 1. Yes, there's a lot of connective DNA, but taken in on its own merits, you don't need the connective tissue for Half-Life 2 to stand out as an amazing product.
I mean, sure, I played Half-Life 2 VR like last year, and it was better than most VR games. So, any of the games we mentioned are fine as one. Like, I'd have to sit and think about two things. One would be redundancy, right? I only have 100 spots, so I don't want to take one company's game and put them all in the top 10, right? I think I'd take the game that best represents like that run of stuff. So it could be Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein 3D. I'm picking one, and same with Half-Life. Like Half-Life 2 is like definitely on the list, but you could say the same things about Half-Life 1, also as important. But I think 2 is what goes on the list.
I think 2 supersedes it.
I'm convinced, John. It is a good.
Selection. Yeah, it's a good sales. It's a good sales pitch.
I think. And that's not to say Quake isn't on my list somewhere. It's just I only get one number 1 slot, and I think I would give it to that. And I'll even tell you, because I thought about it long and hard, I think World of Warcraft, a game you guys usually go, we're going to talk about World of Warcraft and make John grumpy.
Yeah.
Probably is in easily the top 10, if not the top 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's stupid. It's not on here. It's so dumb.
It's still a game millions play to this day.
And not to have a single MMO in representation here is so weird to me.
I can go out to any one of my kids, that may be the 4-year-old, but even him maybe, and I can write a name in gray, a name in green, a name in blue, and a name in purple, and say which one of these is better. Put it in order from best to worst, and they will put it in the correct order. You know why? Because the colored naming scheme has existed since World of Warcraft came out, and it exists in every single game that has basically, and sometimes people mess with it, and when they do, I hate it. Yeah. When I play a game and green is better than blue for some reason, I'm like, well, you fucked up.
Yep.
Congratulations. You wanted to be different and you were wrong as a result.
I agree.
And so like knows what an exclamation point over somebody's head means. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody universally this has happened. World of Warcraft, probably, as much as it pains me to say it sometimes, definitely top 10, if not top 5.
Yeah, and no RTSs. That just drives me nuts. Someone in the chat, by the way, not Cheeseburger. What's his name? Cheese something. Chubby Cheese. He says, you wouldn't have Einstein if you didn't have his parents. I realize that is kind of the argument I was going with, right? Because you could.
His dad's DNA had to be in there, Scott.
Yeah, I actually appreciate the comparison because it does kind of level a little bit. But I think
at a certain point we got to settle on something,
which is where they're at, which is where everyone would be, which is where even a great list would be, and there would still be disagreements. It's just folly a little bit. Like it's just, I kind of like it because it gives all this discussion. We can talk about these things and hit on these important games and all that. I think that stuff's great. But we're basically doing what they had hoped, which is generate a bunch of conversation and drive a bunch of clicks. At the end of the day,
was also mentioned in the chat, which seems like an omission as well.
Yeah, and there's no MMOs, no RTSs. What did we do? What are you doing?
I would even say, and you guys know how painful this is for me to say, You guys are more than even the listeners. The listeners will know this is painful for me to say. You guys who hear my actual thoughts will know. I think Overwatch should be on this list.
Yeah, it should. Damn straight it should. And I'm kind of with you on the maybe not the highest level. Probably ought to be here
think
though.
about
somewhere in the top 100. I'm sick of hero shooters. Why am I sick of hero shooters? Because Overwatch was so influential, it spawned a genre.
You don't think Team Fortress 2 would edge it out over Overwatch?
I would. I mean, if it was picking between the two, I'd give it to Team Fortress 2 because that would make me happier.
But then you got to give it to Team Fortress 1, which is a Quake mod.
I do think Overwatch. I mean, let's put it at 100. But
everything's Quake.
It all comes back to Quake. I'm telling you. But I get.
Son, you wouldn't have those Cheerios if it weren't for the guy who makes Cheerios playing Quake.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you're going to fire up a game today, see, this is, you also have to ask this question. I think that's kind of what John was getting at. If you said, Scott, what do you want to play right now? You want to play Quake or you want to play Half-Life 2? Even if it was just a multiplayer match, which one do you want? I'd say, probably Half-Life 2 because it represents the adding on and building on to the point where it perfected a lot of things and did a lot of new things. And I would rather play that right now. I would rather do that whole thing than play Quake, even though I think Quake should be on the list.
The recency bias is also, there's also an interesting thing too when it comes to recency bias, because there would have been an era where I bet Hearthstone was on this list. Mm-hmm. But in 2025, Hearthstone is not on this list. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what a phenomenon and hype it was like in the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
Or early 2010s. And now,
I can see that being a case of a game falling off.
That's grace, for me. But there are tons of trading card games, like even single player ones, right? Like, do you put Slay the Spire? I think Slay the Spire is
on the list, and it deserves to be probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would lean towards it too, but it's very different than like the Battler because it's single player. You know, like how much do you want to parse this stuff out? Slay the Spire is a big phenomenon, though, but. That's what I mean by recency bias. It's just like I'm sure Hearthstone was on this list in like the 2010s.
Oh, guaranteed.
We went back and looked, but now like
might have been last year.
Out of grace, you know, like we look at it and go like, why do we like Hearthstone so much? We liked it so much we put on the list, but it really doesn't stand the test of time like these other games. You know,
that's what iteration does, man.
Yeah,
everybody's doing.
I think that's
better.
why it's fine to update the list from time to time. You know, I think that's the advantage of it is you can, because again, in my opinion, you do have to give modern games a chance because, you know, I think if you weigh heavily historical relevance and impact, like you can't do that for something that came out this year. It's gonna do poorly, but that doesn't mean that a game can't have come out in the past couple years that isn't phenomenal and deserving of being here. And so I think the ability to say, hey, right now this game has created a level of impact and seems to have created a level of importance that it belongs here. But in a couple years, we might decide that wasn't true and we'll take it off. Yeah. And that's fine.
Yeah. I would have put, I mean, I know we can do this all day, but I would have put Hades higher. It's at 34. I would have had that higher. See, again, there's none of these I'm going to agree with. Maybe Spelunky at 35. I think that might be just a
that's the one game.
Yeah.
Spelunky at 35.
It's hard for me to pick a number without evaluating everything else in context on the list, because I might say Hades should be like number 8, and then I'm like, oh wait, I thought of 20 games that I think deserve higher, but I just didn't think of them till after. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to position these without doing like considering, is this something we should do? I saw a few comments float by like, Core should do it.
Well, we do an end of year favorite thing, but it's always our own favorite. Partly
just
because we understand
Bo, you have your homework tonight is you have to put together a list of the top
I have to learn to work
PC
with other
games.
people. I feel like it's important for me to learn to work with other people because I'm going to not put Vampire Survivors on the list, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for it.
Even what we do every year, I feel like we've avoided that thing of like, let's get into the bull pit and really iron this out and really hammer it and make everybody cave to, you know. I think that like the Giant Bomb guys used to do this. They used to be
I loved it.
About
I loved listening to it, but they also all played those games. We get to the end of the year and we've all played different games.
Yeah, we get to the year.
So how are we going to have a debate
Yeah, we can't.
When Bo's like, hey, play Elden Ring Night Rain. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend money on it. I'm not interested.
And even in their case, even at their height when they were doing this, maybe they're still doing it, but at the height of it, sometimes there would be somebody who didn't play one of those games, but they basically have to concede, yeah, I think you guys are right. Based on everything I've seen, I could see why that one's on the list. Okay, I'll let that one go. And that's also an inherent issue. Because you didn't play it and you're the one man out and you're like, well, okay, I guess I'll vote on that side of it. Like, it's just an impossible task. So what makes sense to me is not a consensus from the core team. What makes sense to me is each of us having our own list. And whether people want to read it or not, I don't know. Soon we'll have a way for them to read such things. I don't want to give anything away or spoil anything.
So shocking lack of Gooner games on this list.
Yeah, where's Orc Massage? 1 and 2.
Exactly.
Although Bo's review of Orc Massage says it wouldn't be in the top one.
No. We need some a dominatrix simulator on this list. But
is that where the bar is?
I don't know, but I haven't played that many. I played a couple for fun to share fun stories on Core, but definitely dominatrix simulator left its mark.
Left a mark. Okay. That's a perfect way of saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there was I was going to say something and I forgot.
Well, while you're thinking about it, if it comes up, say, but we could do this. Literally, this is a thing we could do. And the reason I'm saying this, there's something coming up at Core.show, which isn't there yet, but will be, that could present a great way for us to do this very thing, either as a group or individually. So we may do that in the future. I'm not making any promises to anybody. I'm just saying this is a fun idea. Maybe in early 2026, we have some sort of rolling list.
You will finally be able to see my ranking of the best enterprises.
Oh, E is
without Bo interrupting and saying, "Can
Bo
we
being
not?"
a jerk.
Wait, did we talk about this recently? We did. And then
No, we played a mashup. It was in a mashup.
Oh, right. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think something to do with rankings. I said the Gooner joke, and I wanted to actually say something a little more serious.
Oh.
It was there for a second, and it left again. Gosh dang.
I like the transition, though.
Was it about gooning?
It's like gooning.
No,
All right,
no.
Now let's get serious.
I had two topics in mind, and I went for the gooning one because I thought it'd be funny, and there was actually something substantive I wanted to say.
Bo says it was not about gooning.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
And there's also I noticed there's no VR attention in here, really.
Good point. Half-Life Alyx plays on my PC.
Yeah,
just
should be
uses
here.
the VR as a monitor, so technically a VR game. It should be on the list.
Actually, technically, it's the only place it plays. There is no other version but the PC version because you can't play.
I don't think it's standalone unless it's standalone for the Index. I think it literally is a PC only game. So,
yeah, it's all Index is all tethered. So
there's a whole VR segment that must be looked at, yeah.
Or
anyway,
must not be, depending on your opinion of VR. Like, that's my point. This just illustrates it every time we say anything about it. This is impossible for consensus, except maybe you got lucky and met your soulmate and they agree with everything you agree with in your life, and that's it.
Again, as John was saying, it depends on like your exposure to what games and what biases you have. I'm in VR titles a lot on Steam. It's very rare for something to get an overwhelmingly positive. And Alyx, in spite of being a 5-year-old game, still sits at overwhelmingly positive. Like, it is beyond a shadow of a doubt the number one thing you can do on a VR headset with a bullet. And it's better than most non-VR games. So, yeah, it's going to be on the list.
I wish that was a 2D game so bad, just so I would play it and not. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. You really don't. Like, the way it plays, it would not be a good 2D game. Like, because it really leans. Like, you got to tickle that alien balls to get the grenade out. Like, that's not going to feel like anything.
You have to tickle an alien's balls to get a grenade.
So
out?
there's like a stalk, and it looks like a big arm.
Yeah.
And it was holding something that you can take out of it, but it won't release it. You try and grab it, and it won't release it. So it has this little underbelly that you rub with your hand, and then it goes, and then you have to quickly grab it, and it gives you a grenade.
Does it have balls?
Rub it.
The thing has balls, though? You're like testicles?
Yeah, no, that's just a joke I make. It's not actual testicles, but you kind of rub the bottom to make the hand grip release, and then you pull it out.
Got it.
And the game is full of interesting ways to use VR mechanics that no other game does. It is fully, think Portal, like think how Valve has that pedigree for doing interesting game design things. It does so many interesting things with VR controls that not a single VR game has like managed to really do as well, including like facehuggers jumping at your face and you able to shoot them out of the sky. But it's so good. The game is so good. Yeah. And it needs to be on a list, 1,000%. A big omission on this list.
That's how I know. Yeah, I think it's actually, I haven't even played it, and I'm not all that keen on VR these days, but I don't know why that's not on this list based on what I know about it.
Someone's asking me about VR Batman. VR Batman's a very good game. It does not deserve to be on the greatest games of all time list. There's a difference in the conversation is what I'm trying to say. And in 5 to 10 years' time, it might be like, God damn, that game was good. We should consider it. But the VR Batman's just punch here and punch a lot, and it does it really well. Alex is like creative to the nth degree, like in a way that Batman can't even touch.
If your name is Bruce Wayne, you might think it's on the top 100, but we don't. You know, that's how we look at it.
So there is, I think, a difference to these like big games. And look, man, I think probably you have to look at some games that you haven't played in order to understand that. That's what I'm saying. If I'm like got to do this job, I need to make a catalog of all the contenders. That's probably 2,000 or 3,000 games. Oh, and this is what I wanted to say. I was like, imagine having this conversation with novels at this point. Like we've had 1,000 years of novels. What are the best 100 novels?
Oh my gosh!
Like, I think I'd rather just take a ball peen hammer to my nutsack, and
it's so much easier. It's so much easier when there's less stuff, right? That's always the easy way to do it. If there's only been 400 novels made, you could probably whittle down to 100 best. But when there are literally millions of published works by this stage,
like, what's your short list? 8,000 books?
Yeah,
to find the top 100. Like,
wild.
You'd spend a lifetime trying to even read them all to even just make your own one-person list.
Yeah, and it or not, we're there with games. If not already, we will be soon. Where so many indies, so many little browser things. Like, are we counting all the Newground shit that inspired a ton of people and make real games? Like, you can't. It's no longer these little 3 or 4 walled gardens of 10 major releases a year that you can choose from. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Yeah. So gaming has changed, making a top 100 list also like dangerous. It's one thing when you have 3 big releases a year, and then after 20 years you're trying to figure out what were the most influential. Now, like this year has been insane. People are going to be like, you didn't play Ninja Gaiden 4? And I'm like, dude, I just played 5 new games and I want to play more of them. I just don't have time for them all. Like some of them are just,
I was relieved that some of the reviews for Ninja Gaiden 4 are a little bit not quite like mind blown. They're all like, oh, it's all right. It's not quite what we expected. Like it's been a little mediocre on the reception. And my brain went, oh, thank goodness.
You're right. Yeah. You're like, thank God this game's bad. I don't want to.
I don't even want to. I'll wait.
Not even bad. Thank God this game is just okay.
Just okay.
Just okay is enough to buy me a little freedom to do other things.
Yeah. It's a strange place to be in games, but that's where we're at in 2025, I feel like.
I mean, I pretty much in my spare time, all I do is play video games, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
It's still not enough.
Yeah. I mean, until that we all land on Jupiter and get an extra 12 hours a day or whatever that would give us, because the rotation's slower and the planet's bigger.
So the whole top, that's why I sort of lean on the top 100 being for me like a historical, like a museum like ranking of like influential big things, because like you could just take the last 5 years and make a top 100 list out of it and not have any misses. Probably it'd be all fun games to play. So
all right. Well, we go from that. Great discussion.
Well, hold on. We got breaking news.
Oh, shit.
Halo is coming to the PlayStation.
Oh, my Lord. Wait, new game or the Infinite?
Halo Campaign Evolved is coming to the PlayStation for the first time in 24 years.
It's the original campaign.
Off of IGN.
Yeah, they're redoing it, right? In Unreal or something, I heard.
Yep, being redone in Unreal.
Yeah.
And
so we knew about that. We just didn't know about the PlayStation release, really. But it's still a big deal.
It's coming out on everything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
There you go. We take, you know what? We don't just give you the stuff that's happened all week. We listen to the wires.
Sometimes we give you the stuff that's going on right now because at some point we have to record the show. And stuff might be happening while we're recording.
Our finger's not just on the pulse; it is in the vein and up the pulse. That's how we do it here at Core.
All the way up.
The way up the pulse.
We could play that first game again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would like to play that campaign. Actually, I would enjoy it. Co-op too would be really good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say, why don't they put Halo on this list? Because they did release a PC version of that game.
Oh, Halo should be on this list.
Halo shouldn't. No, I'm saying no. It shouldn't.
No,
be.
I'm saying based on the kind of list it is, it's weird. It's not on there. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just funky. Yeah. The whole thing's funky. Let's move on to this story. Bo, the Xbox talk lately about why prices are going up on services and hardware. You got heard a little something, saw a little something. What's going on with that?
So just on that one you're bumping, that's like the biggest news story.
Oh, we don't have to bump it.
Yeah.
That's why I put the red there, because if you wanted to.
So Jason Schreier posted, but on this one you're talking about, the one Jason Schreier, he confirmed that Microsoft is juicing Xbox for high target sales at 30%. So according to his internal contacts,
he says juices. You mean just like artificially bumping prices?
They're just
up?
saying like, you need to sell more. We need to be making 30% profitability, which apparently is a very difficult target for them to hit.
Okay.
So this is just sort of a follow up from last week, how we were talking about Xbox, jacking their prices. Mm-hmm. It's not Xbox. It's the people above Xbox asking Xbox to be more. Just be more profitable.
Yeah.
In a way that is impossible or not historically proven out to be a thing. Mm-hmm. And this includes, if you're a Blizzard player, that's all under Microsoft. Like the whole schmeal is not profitable enough in order to pay for lost value with AI bullshit, whatever else is going bad at Microsoft. Xbox now has to make up for it. And I will say, now that I've updated to Windows 11, my splash screen, every time I turn my computer on, I get a little message saying, "Have you played Avowed?"
Really?
You should get Game Pass and play Avowed. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I have Battle.net and it tells me to play Avowed all the time on there. Like, can you just seriously F off, like, big time?
I love that. I love that your experience so far with 11 is as bad as I imagine it would be. It sucks.
Yes, it's just ads for Avowed and Game Pass because I don't exist in this universe to ensure Microsoft shareholders are pleased with the performance of it. So stop making decisions and implementing things to do that. It's my computer, not yours.
Yeah.
And anyways, but if you're wondering, it sort of is a confirmation of are you wondering, are they being kind of shitty right now? It's yes, there's an internal, it's confirmed. There's internal pressure for Xbox and Game Pass to be shit.
It felt like it. We talked about it last week, but it felt like Satya Nadella on the way down. It's not Phil Spencer going, "Guys, got an idea, raise prices." I don't think it's that simple.
Yeah. Where all of Xbox is suffering because other people at Microsoft suck. Pretty much is TLDR.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Put it all on Azure. That's how you solve it. John, apparently Fallout Day happened. I heard about this after the fact. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know Fallout Day was a thing, but apparently it's a thing, and it's here, and it came with, not the biggest news in the world, but Fallout 4 is going to get an anniversary edition that's coming to Switch 2. No word yet on what that entails for other consoles. And Obsidian showed a new bundle for Fallout New Vegas. Mm-hmm. Apparently they're doing a Fallout New Vegas 15th anniversary edition. You should look at this, Scott. You love New Vegas so much. You want to kiss it?
I do.
Now there's a physical edition you could kiss.
Oh my gosh, I can kiss the edition of...
Yeah, you can kiss the edition because it's physical.
Shit. I'm into it.
It's physical.
All right. You've convinced me to do it.
Does it have the game in it?
It has the game in it. The ultimate edition of the game.
Wow. Okay. I did. So you kind of alluded to this, but you didn't say anything about hey, PC players who just bought the enhanced 4 edition, you're getting all this for free.
Yeah, it hasn't. I haven't heard anything on it yet.
Yeah. All right. Of course, one of the things I did notice, 76 is going full Walton Goggins.
Yep, you getting your Walton Goggins in Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 months away. We get our second season of that.
I know. I'm so excited. I love that show, and it makes sense they would. In fact, if anything, I'm surprised how little cross promotion there's been. in the game. I think there's some slacking going on in that regard of Bethesda.
I forgot how much I loved that show. It was one of those things where I watched it when it was coming out, and I was like super into it and loved it. And then everybody kind of talked about it and fawned over it, and I went, did I really like it a bunch? And then I watched a little bit more of it again, and I went, no, I liked it a lot. This is a very good show.
Yeah, it's very good. The hype is real, turns out this time. Anyway, watch for that. Bo, some folks thought their money was safe with the Counter-Strike thing, and it's not. Why?
So, put a lot of effort into reading that.
I really did. Well, I'm just because I don't know what this is, so I don't want to sound like I know anything about it.
I know. It's just funny because, like, objectively hearing it, like, there's some Counter-Strike shit.
But all I know is if I was buying shit on that marketplace, I would want to know that my money was safe.
You just read what I wrote, so it's not really your fault because that's what it's not a headline. It's like a paragraph.
The writer's room. Jeez Louise.
So we all know that, like, Counter-Strike, I think, like, secondary market for skins is like this huge thing, right?
Yeah.
The market, I think, is worth like 6.5 billion or something. So it's no joke a place for people who deal in crypto and stock trading. When the market gets volatile and go down, they'll put their money in skins to keep it safe.
And is this something outside
the negative effects of the market?
So it's outside of the game. There may be investors who are doing this with, say, their crypto. They may have never played Counter-Strike, but they see it as a safe haven.
Yeah,
for
I think technically people who don't know what Counter-Strike is may also be getting recommended from, crypto bro money managers that, like, a safe place to put your money for it not to lose value would be in buying high-end Counter-Strike skins.
Wild.
So the reason why this is a headline is that right now, apparently, this is just according to creators I watch on this side of things, the S&P 500 in crypto, they're on a downswing. So people sell and then put their money into Counter-Strike skins to prevent that, like, value loss, which is wild on its own. But this is not a new thing. This has been going on for years. But what happened is Valve actually, while that was happening, Valve pushed an update to make it easier for players to get high-end goods by taking, like, three uncommon things so you can make a rare thing, which means people have more easy access to the rare things. The value of the Counter-Strike market lost $2 billion overnight.
Damn.
While people were safely storing their money. So these guys got their money hosed by storing their money in Counter-Strike skin bullshit. Like, the world, the financial world is such bullshit these days. And this is so comical. And I shouldn't laugh, but you kind of got what you deserved investing your money in a video game skin.
Well, so there's God. Nobody's saying to Valve, like, no one's accusing Valve of any kind of malfeasance.
No, they're allowed to do whatever they want. It's a video game.
It's their game.
Secondary market for their thing. But
so they can they could push a patch tomorrow that suddenly just wreck the value of.
There's a whole segment of people that invest in this hobbyist stuff, like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon are great examples. You could take, it's like, oh, my $100,000 in my bank because of inflation loses value every year, so it's actually better for me to buy 4 super rare Pikachu cards because they'll hold value better than they would in a bank.
Yeah.
Okay, there's people who play in this realm, and that's what the CS:GO skin market is a very stable market.
It was
value,
not a stable market anymore.
No,
and Counter-Strike is always, like, the most played game. Like, we talk about popular games, a game that should be on this list is Counter-Strike 2, and just Counter-Strike generally. People play that game like, it's like the most played game on Steam all the time. Pretty much. But Valve was like, oh, you get, like, open a bunch of loot boxes and get shitty skins, and it's like, can't do anything with them. Well, now you can trade them in for rare stuff, which means it's easier for people to get it, which means the price of everything goes down, and they took a bath. So, anyways, just have a little fun laugh over that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. This is great news, actually.
Yeah.
Take that, dummies, you big dummies. Don't expect me to feel bad about it, because I don't. Like, at all.
Well, like, white collar crime is kind of legal in the 2020s, so it's kind of nice to see some sort of retribution for these weird money things. And
worst part is a lot of them can take the loss, and then that sucks too. But
I hope so. Although there was a few memes going around of people that were like shopping. It was this Chinese creator I saw who was looking at the tallest buildings in China. Like some weird TikTok.
Oh, to jump off of it?
Yeah, I think some people actually lost their shirt, like literally.
Damn.
It's hard to I watched a documentary by a creator named CoffeeZilla about the Counter-Strike 2 market. Like, it is a whole thing. People have fortunes tied up in Counter-Strike skins.
Well, it's the most played game on the platform for a reason, I guess. It's that big.
But it's like the secondary market thing where they have so much fortunes, they hire private hitmen to threaten other people in holding Counter-Strike stuff. There's a whole subculture, financial subculture around digital goods.
That's wild to me.
Like Valve is actually if you want to critique Valve could kick the legs out from underneath this thing at any time, and they don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's great. I love it. Well, that means we can take a break. On that happy note, we take a break. And when we come back, we talk about the games we played this week, which are numerous, it turns out. We had a lot of games to play. So we'll do that right after this. Don't forget, if you are watching live, John hangs around and does this little John show thing. So
yeah, I got to do something real quick, but then I'll.
But then he'll be back.
Do the John show.
Exactly.
I got to go get a package off the porch.
Oh, good idea. Let's all go get our packages. Check. All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We hope you enjoyed the John show. Oh, no Mario hat. That's too bad. It's all right, though.
I'll put it back on. Sorry, my janky Mario hat that I'm wearing for trunk or treat. Look, it doesn't have to be good.
No, it just has to be reasonably recognizable.
I can only wear the little Zerg hat that I have.
Yeah.
So much and call that my costume. I've done that for the past 6 years. I've just thrown that stupid Abathur hat on and been like, I'm being controlled by Abathur.
All you needed in the end was
I was an M&M 1 year.
Oh.
That was it. I was an M&M 1 year. Our whole family was M&Ms. It was the easiest costume in the world. We
which
just got
color?
colored shirts.
I thought you were lose yourself in the music. Mom Spaghetti.
No.
Mom Spaghetti.
Not that. No, a lot less creative than that.
So wait, with the M, you're now 1M, so you could be M&M again one day.
Yeah, this is basically the same costume because I was the red M&M.
Oh, perfect. All right.
So the M has moved to a hat, and now I'm Mario.
Nestle and Nintendo in court before you know it, fighting this out. That'll be good. Anyway, hey, everybody, we're back. It's time for us to talk about the games we played. Real quick note about Dear Martha. Dear Martha is not on hiatus, but John's in new content mode.
It's in a hiatus. I don't know what to do with Dear Martha yet, and so Dear Martha will be back when I have a plan for what I'm.
Yeah, he's workshopping it. Let it stew. Let him cook, as the
Do we need
children
to play
say.
a little Next Jeopardy in between seasons? Is that
You could. You want to play one next week?
If you wanna bring Next Jeopardy back, it's been long enough that I think I might enjoy it.
Well, we'll play it once, and then we'll be back to not being enjoyable. So
Sure.
but I've had some thoughts about.
Would it be heroes stuff though? Questions?
Don't make it heroes related because it's been way too long.
Yeah, that era's over. We can't do that.
I like it though. Next Jeopardy, let's do it. Think about it.
The goal with Next Jeopardy was just because you guys would always get we didn't know each other as well as we do. You guys would get talent names wrong. Well, not John, mainly Scott.
Mainly me, yeah.
So I thought it'd be a helpful learning tool because if we did the thing, we would learn about the game. But I think it had mixed results.
I held my own. I just forget names. It's easy to forget all those stupid abilities.
Yeah.
It's more fun to call it Two Button Terry's.
But arguably too, my questions were also not good. I mean, I remember because I was doing Next Jeopardy. I think Garrett put me in touch. Remember Chanman V?
Yeah,
Hearthstone creator.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the big thing back then was doing these trivia shows, and I made questions for him, and he was too polite to tell me he didn't like them. But the project fell through. My participation in the project fell through because I don't actually write seriously good questions. I write ridiculous things.
Chanman hasn't done anything since 5 years ago.
Yeah, what is Chanman doing? We talked with him for a while at one of the BlizzCons. I remember
his most recent video was 5 years ago, almost 6.
Oh, is he really? He was the Face Hunter guy. That's how I first heard about him when Hearthstone first came out. He made the one-turn kill deck.
Yeah, maybe the pandemic was just not nice to him, and he was like, "F this, I don't want to do this anymore." I don't know. I have no idea. I'm making that up.
Well, I mean, Hearthstone, That affected a lot of people's careers when the games started to sunset that people were known for. That's why we don't do Heroes. So.
That's the risk of it. Okay, let's get into this. We got some video games we played this week. Let's talk about them. Bo, you played, still playing Battlefield 6, and I think John tried, right?
I'm in. Okay. I'm in, baby.
All right.
I finally played some Battlefield 6.
What do you think?
And I would echo probably a lot of what Bo said, although I will say I didn't make it to the campaign. I just didn't try it all. Much like Bo, I don't get excited about military shooters. I just, especially modern, I don't find the guns or the tech particularly interesting in a way that is just very compelling to me. And it's still a problem even in multiplayer, but like in a campaign, it just kind of bums me out. It just kind of isn't exciting. I think the last time I really felt that way was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I thought that was revolutionary at the time. I think a lot of us did.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since then. And the excitement around that sort of thing has kind of faded a bit for me. And so I haven't touched the campaign, but I did get into multiplayer. And I stunk up the place. I was real bad. I was awful.
Oh, boy.
And I had a terrible kill-to-death ratio. And I went, man, I suck. I don't know if I should play this game anymore. But I liked shooting things, so I guess I'll keep playing.
Yeah.
And slowly I got a little better, and I got a little better, and I got a little better, and I started liking it more and more. There was a point where I uninstalled the game and then reinstalled it, which was super sad because it's a very big game.
Oh, my gosh.
And I expect to hear from my ISP at some point going, we have throttled your internet because you are up to no good. But I really like it. The multiplayer is fun. It feels... I wish this was a Battlefront game, obviously. I would like this a lot more if this was Stormtroopers. Why are you showing old Battlefield?
I wanted people in the chat to see, here's some 1941 and just how this looks. Let me get out of the tank. I'm not in the tank, but let's get this guy out of the tank. I mean, this looks like ass. I just think it's an interesting juxtaposition because look how pretty the game is, man.
It looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. It's really addictive. I started just doing, the assault class primarily, and I thought I'd do assault and recon, but I've kind of fallen in love with playing the engineer. It's kind of been because I've noticed that even though once you die, you can repick your class. For some reason, people will just respawn over and over again and go, what can we do about these tanks? They just keep killing us.
Yeah.
And it's just they do it again and again and again and again and again. And it's guys, just pick an assault and blow up the tank.
Sure.
It is. Why aren't you doing this? So I decided, or engineer. Yeah. And I was like, well, I can't sit here and criticize other people for not doing it if I'm not doing it. So I started being the engineer more often, and I started being the one blowing up the tanks. And sure as shit, you do that score screen, and it made me look real good because they're like, look at how helpful this guy was. What the hell were all of you doing?
Yeah.
Because I was blowing up tanks and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm finally good at this game. I know what I'm doing now.
It's kind of counter to your type, though, because normally you're not really a support character in MMOs or anything else. So you doing support is a kind of support, I suppose, is
usually I'm the stealthy guy, which I guess kind of falls into the sniper type deal. Yeah. So I see Chad saying Assault is not a good kit. So what I found I really liked with Assault is I did my, my rifle, my standard, machine gun rifle type thing in my main, but I did a not full sniper rifle, but I think it's a DMR that I basically kitted out like a sniper rifle. And that combo.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why that opened. I shouldn't have. Anyway, go ahead.
So, I have found that running that as a counter sniper kit, where it's for up close, I've got my assault rifle, and then if snipers are a problem, I just do that because you shoot a sniper from long range, and you either get 2 shots quicker than they can get 1, and you kill them, or you hit them once and they go, ah, and they disappear and they stop sniping. So it's really effective. And so I think that there's a lot you can do with it. But yeah, there is a lack of ammo that is a little disappointing. I agree. But anyway, it's a very fun multiplayer game. I've been playing a lot of it. It's kind of fallen into that comfort, I'm doing other things kind of game, and I'll just get in and shoot some stuff because the shooting and, the back and forth, and it feels very low stakes, is just fun. So it's kind of just a fun game to kind of mindlessly run around and shoot things in. And yeah, I really like it, but I'm not getting the full experience because, again, I've completely ignored the campaign, and I'm not even going that deep on multiplayer modes. I just sort of like breakthrough. I just play a lot of breakthrough.
A lot of people, a lot of the reviews don't like the campaign much anyway, so it sounds like you're not really missing that much. It's kind of a real standard,
Yeah, I think the main draw is the multiplayer.
Yeah. Bo, anything new from your end?
Yeah.
You enjoying yourself?
I played a ton in the past week, and I've gotten better at some things. The one thing I would say is don't worry about your kill-death ratio. It is meant to be kind of a milsim in the sense that, it's not really about standing your own face-to-face, mano-a-mano against an opponent. It's literally like how, you pop your head out and then you get your head blown off, and welcome to the army. So, it's horrifying. And so I think if you're like playing for objectives, it is meant to be a meat grinder. Like, unless I think you're squatted up, and if you get a res from a support, it doesn't count towards your KDA because it's just like you got wounded and then you get rezzed real quick by support. I've played a lot of the support class now. It's pretty good. So the challenges are fun. So I'm just doing the challenges, trying to unlock all the scopes and guns and stuff. So I think if you're playing objectives, especially in a mode like Rush or Breakthrough, which is like smaller teams and more rushing towards the objective, then it's a meat grinder. Like, it's just everything's so lethal in this game. If you try to take a point, you're pretty much exposing.
You die very quickly in this game. Mm-hmm. There is
a lot of in Rush and Breakthrough, Rush game mode and Breakthrough game mode in particular. Usually, the attacking side gets tanks. Like, one side doesn't get the tanks, and their side does in order to give them an advantage, I think, to help them push. But yes, the tanks will like completely ream you, even though. It's not realistic in terms of splash damage. It doesn't kill as much as it should up for these high explosive weapons, like if it was being realistic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so those modes, you might want to try some other bigger modes that like Conquest or Escalation, where you can play snipers, just because there's so many more vehicles you generally need to play. It's more like PlanetSide, where it's like if you're out in the open, you're probably getting killed by something. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of Recon still. Recon is my favorite sort of class. I did all the DMR. There's a DMR quest. I got all my DMR kills. Right now I'm working on getting headshots over 200 meters. And so there's this really fun thing. Most of the sniping you're doing is at 100 meters, so you don't got to worry about range. But once you get to like rank 30 or so, I think you unlock the rangefinder. I can't remember exactly how. Maybe it's with the sniper rifle and mastery. Like maybe you get the mastery 10 or 15. You get a rangefinder, and I'm getting these sniper shots from like 800 meters out. I had to watch a few videos because the game doesn't teach you how to do it, but sniper rifles don't shoot straight. If you're at 100 meters, they're pretty much straight, so you don't got to mess with the rangefinder. But once you get a rangefinder attachment, you'll like hover your mouse over something and hold down the range changing button, which for me is B, and then it'll automatically set the range of your gun. So that if you have your dot over top of the head of the enemy, it shoots like a football, basically. Like if you shoot 100 meters, you'll see the bullet go. Row. But if you do the rangefinder, it'll hit where your target's at. So I was hitting these 800 meter shots and having a blast on a big escalation map, Operation Firestorm, and it's very satisfying to like just football someone right in their head. And that's been the fun I've been having. Yeah.
So I have the rangefinder because I got the prompt saying like, hey, here's what you should use. This is not there's a lot of practice in Fortnite. I just wing it. I just eyeball it. I go, oh, that's far enough. I aim slightly above, got him, and nothing feels better than that.
You'll be
nothing
fine.
Feels better than like, oh, I knew to aim a little high and I nailed a headshot from so far away, and I feel so good about it.
Okay. So the challenge. Someone in chat room just gave me some good information. There's a challenge to get 200 headshot kills over 200 meters, but you have to do it 200 times. And they're changing it to 5, and that's wonderful. Most of your sniping, because most of your sniping on the maps are between 100 and 200, so you never really have to change your range on the sniper rifle because it's fine, it's sighted fine. But if you're trying to get like really long range, like 200 meter plus, like you've got to find maps you can do it on and maps that it's good for. And like I said, I was getting 800 meter snipes, but like you have to use the rangefinder properly in order to. I had to like spend time learning how to do it. I even went to like a PvE lobby to just shoot bots in order to learn how to snipe properly. I've spent a lot of time in this game this week. It's really fun. And I'm like, I'm just like, damn, realistic sniping mechanics.
Oh, it's true though. I can count on like one hand the number of times I've had to adjust for bullet drop. Like it's very rare that it comes up.
It's most of the time generous. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I noticed that. Also, is that thing you're talking about, Bo, with the sights? Because there was an app that had the most. Button, it had the most concurrent Steam players below Counter-Strike, below BF6, and below something else. What a Dota 2. There was this thing called sights something. Anyway, the whole thing is just some utility that helps people in games like this have the crosshairs they would prefer. And it was massively popular. Yeah. All right, I was just curious if that was it. Sound like that.
I don't know. I don't think I think the differences in your guns like doesn't really matter in terms of setting the range for most encounters. Like most times your kills are 100 meters and below. There's a complaint right now I think that's prominent about SMGs because submachine guns are usually lightweight spray and pray, really good at close range, almost like a shotgun. Low damage bullets, but you just dump out so many. That's why you use an Uzi or a Mac 10 or something like that. But right now, like basically the SMGs are considered just like laser pointers. Like there's just no bloom, recoil. Like you could hit targets 80 meters out.
And
like
now you're beginning to get why I've been enjoying the Engineer an awful lot, because the Engineer uses an SMG, and I noticed if you feather shooting that, if you like, as long as you don't hold down the button, if you just tap it, you can basically use it from a fairly long distance with a decent degree of accuracy.
Yeah, it's like bullshit. I'll be using like an assault rifle, like aim down sights, crouched, mounted on the corner of a wall, and still get bloom, and 3 bullets will whiz past the target. Meanwhile, some guy will jump and somersault off the side of a thing and then hit you with 3 SMG bullets and you die instantly. And it's like, this doesn't feel correct. This is not how these guns should work. I also unlocked the revolver, which I'm a big fan of.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like the big, just 6. It kind of looks a little bit like maybe what Rick Grimes would use, like this big 6 shooter you can get. And it's hard to aim, but it does a lot of damage. You can like headshot people from close range, and I like it.
I saw some controversy today that they are going to release a skin that everybody thinks is wackadoo and Fortnite-like, and they'd promised they weren't going to do that.
What is it?
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, it's just a little neon blue. It's not that crazy. But it's like it's not a good camo color. Like if your purpose of your camo is to be spotted by the enemy, it's like wear this blue camo. I think people are really on guard because I think these companies like underestimate, especially in a military shooter, like just how. You don't want like Krusty the Clown running around or Beavis and Butthead or Ariana Grande. Like, it's, you got to, maybe you have Ariana Grande, but like in proper military attire, it's a mil.
There's a time and a place for it. And I think if your game is saying like, that's not what we are, then you should stick to that.
Yeah. Like I think it works for Fortnite because that's how the game was always that, right? Like it was a zombie
always bright and colorful.
Thing.
It's always, that kind of cut character. Like you didn't need camouflage really. Like the Fortnite version of camouflage is your character gets a bush around them.
I mean, it was always unrealistic too. It was just like the meme was just people building forts as soon as they were in combat, like just like assembling construction projects in 2 seconds that would literally take a year.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like a cartoony battle royale shooter, but like I think what people like about Battlefield is it's like there's a lot of attention paid to even. I was watching this video of like how they reload, like they reload realistically, like the shotgun. You put it on your shoulder and hold it up, and then you're putting ammo in with the right hand. The avatars, when they aim, they close one eye. There's lots of screaming when grenades go off, which is also realistic.
Yeah.
Like there'll be a grenade going off and they'll be like, ah, some player character is just like yelling.
Wow.
Like so I think a lot of attention's been paid in this game to just it feeling like a modern military.
Here's the dude, by the way, the skin. I don't understand why the freak out exactly. It's just
first the handkerchief has like a cringe ass
I'm Venom, everybody. Look at me. I'm Venom.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
What are you camouflaging with bright blue?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. If they're looking for like realism with the skins, then
there's another green one too that looks like sponsored by Monster as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for it as long as it's on the other team.
As long as the guy can see real well with his blue.
I mean, I think they're just pushback because like this is just the opening salvo. Like as soon as you're like, oh sweet, neon green, that's cool. Then Beavis and Butthead's next, So
yeah, well, they got that on lock over at Call of Duty. I don't think Beavis is done anyway. Yeah. Game's still doing good. Sits in its comfortable little third position. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and then Battlefield 6 been like this since launch, really. So it's good. 600,000 people, right? 656,000 playing right now.
Yep, there's some new maps and guns coming soon. It looks like what they're doing, like a Overwatch style questing system, where like, let's say there's weekly quests and you're not able to game that week. You can log in the week after, and those quests are still available.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think they flush it all during the changeover to a new season, but I do appreciate that about Overwatch. Like if you don't play and you get in, you can. Let's say you're on week 8, you can do week 8's weeks worth of quests all in 1 week kind of thing, So I like that. I like that system.
I unfortunately had no time to dick with whatever my motherboard problem is. It will not hold this setting, and it doesn't work no matter what I do. So I gotta figure it out, and I just haven't had time to like troubleshoot. So I still haven't been able to play. I know it sucks. I want to play. Stupid.
It's fun. Like it would be fun to squad together, and I'd love to play with you guys. It'd be cool.
Hey EA, I'm not going to cheat. Just let me in. I don't care about cheating. I know that's why you do it, but it annoys me.
Yeah, if you need some help, I did mine. Although we talked about it last week, but
I got in there and changed it. Said it was changed. Saved. Got out of the BIOS. Rebooted. Nothing. It just still won't. It just won't hold.
Did you follow? They have a step-by-step instruction list on the EA support site that they link you to.
That's what I used, and just that one part of the step where I reboot to get in there, it's just Windows is like, nah, you still got that off, and I'm like, well. No, I don't. And then I haven't had time. So I'm sure there's a resolution. I'll probably call John, see what he thinks. But anyway, not you, John. Other John. JOHN.
No, I realized. I was like, what are you calling me for? I didn't have any issues. I don't know what to do.
Different John.
Mine
Guys,
just launched immediately.
I have great news. I beat another video game this week.
Nice.
I did. I beat a game called Superliminal. And you might say, wait, isn't that a few years old? Well, yeah, it is. It's a game that was on sale for, I think it's normally like $29. They had a massive sale on it, and I think it was like $7.99 or something. I'm like, I should probably finally play this. Everybody's been saying that Superliminal is like this really brain bending, bunch of weird portal adjacent kind of story and puzzle solving. It's mostly like a lesson in perspective. Because there are times in this thing where, as you can see in this video, I'm on the wall, and that's just where gravity is right now. And there are times where I'm not. I'm on the floor, but also sometimes objects are 3D until I touch them, and now they're a painting on the wall, and I couldn't tell until I moved. And I'm like, holy shit, it's not even really here. And a lot of weird stuff like that scattered throughout. I loved this, and it's only about 4 hours long. I beat it in 2 sessions. So that's why I beat it. But it was worth every second, and I streamed the whole thing, so you can go see the whole thing on the YouTube channel. But it is some of the most mind-bending, cool ideas I've seen in a game in a very long time. I'd heard about it. People have been raving about this for years. It's not like this was, an unheard of quantity for me, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. And now that I have, I have no regrets. I wish I could play it again and never have experienced it. It was so cool. So big ups for Superliminal. If you guys grabbed it on the sale when that happened, grats, because now I think it's back up to $30. So anyway, very cool game. Oh, and there's a whole thing it unlocks at the end of like multiplayer and make your own levels and co-op weird puzzles, and
neat.
It's insane. The whole thing is just absolutely nuts. But
it's just like a mind-bending puzzle solver. Basically.
Yeah, like see this little building right here? I'm gonna see if I can get this scene here. Come on, Scott. What are you taking? What's taking him so long? Okay. So I should have gone in there. You would have seen it. Anyway, watch this little house. I grab it, this little building. Now, when I plop that down right there, it'd be small, but I put it back there, it's big. Now it's huge. Now I want it to be bigger. I can actually just make it life size. And now I'm going to try to go into the damn thing. It's got to make it even bigger. It's hard sometimes to know if you're doing it right. Yeah, there we go. So you crawl through this room that used to be tiny. You go all the way through the back. And now, come on, go through the back. I always have to dick with the soda machines.
At least it's you're criticizing this time.
I can't help it. But now look, go through the door, dummy. There you go. Now it's like, whoa, wait, what?
Dummy.
Oh, you're back in the room you were just in.
Yeah, I was just in. And I'm a different size. So I don't really fully realize that yet, but later I will be very shrinky. Like right now, I've shrunk myself so small, I'm running around on that table you saw me at before. The room is still there, fully scaled up. I'm just a tiny little entity in first person running around now. And I'm trying to get back through this building. So what happens next, sorry those who are listening only and not seeing this, but here we go. Come on. I'm going to get mad at myself again. Here you go. Put it down. There you go. Run in. Holy shit, Johnson. Here, hold on. Okay, there we go. Back through the door, and now look at this. I come in here. Ooh, it's all normal again. Actually, I'm kind of huge. Look at my little tiny bed over there and stuff. Just mind-blowing puzzles, crazy stuff, hard to solve, super satisfying when you do. I really loved it. So big ups if you passed on this one in the past or saw it and wondered if you should grab it. Superliminal is cool.
Seems very cool.
Yeah, it's very rad. I also played a little bit, not a ton. I don't have a super big amount to say about Battle Suit Aces, but I wanted to bring it up because it was donated to me by Keebs in our...
Yeah, Keebs also shared that game with me. I haven't played it yet, but, thank you to Keebs.
Yeah, thank you, Keebs, with a Z. He knows how to do it. This thing is... so it's like Gundam anime, sort of. Lots of story. He'd given this and saying, by the way, I hope you like this as much as I do. This is one of my favorite things. I was like, I'll check this out. It's a combination deck builder with a bunch of RPG and story stuff in it. And it's a lot of story stuff like, I'll play some audio here.
Rama.
What do you mean? Out here? Not that. Okay. Hold on. Where? Oh, you know what? This version, they don't have dialogue yet. All right. It's fully voiced now. So this isn't fair. I'm looking at some kind of like pre-release stuff. In the final thing, like professional voice actors are saying all these lines.
Nice.
Yeah. So lots of story, lots of anime bullshit, but in fun ways. And the fighting all happens in these mechs, and the mechs are represented by these cards, and it's lane combat, which I know Bo is sometimes a fan of, right? Bo, you like a game with some good lane combat?
Sure, why not?
Let's see if I can find some of that here. Yeah, they don't show it in this particular video. I should have found a better video, but basically you line up your mechs and you do it strategically. So if there's something real hard to fight above you, you put that mech down here because he's going to be better against him. But mechs can swap, so you want to. It's very strategic, very 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 cool. That stuff I thought was really good so far. The story seems good. I don't know. It's super like Voltron-y, or all right, you guys, we're a bunch of good looking young people flying mechs.
Yeah,
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bitching about it, but I don't know if that's going to be the thing that holds me, but I can tell you the combat's really fun. So Just not far enough in. I'm barely into the thing. Got like 3 matches done.
Are you mechs? Like what?
Yeah, big old like Gundam mechs, like
okay.
Like Gundam, like big Gundam mechs.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe those. I guess they're just Gundams, right? Because they look so different than like they're not like mech.
I think you just
warrior.
say like mechas. That's what I was sort of wondering. Is like, are you in the mecha or do you play mechas?
So mostly you seem to kind of be this Heathcliff guy who's like your captain. Or wait, maybe the other guy's Heathcliff. Anyway, I forget their names. But you're this captain guy, and you're just trying to keep it all together, and you're assembling this team. And then some of them are like big brute guy, and he flies a really big, gnarly, tough, tanky one of these things. Again, represented as cards in the combat. But I also like a card combat game that if I'm unfortunately can't move a mech and he's aiming at nothing, I am still taking hit points from the main boss who's sending out these things to fight me. In other words, if there's no card there, I don't just whiff. I actually hurt there. It's bad for them to have that open slot because it actually hurts the overall enemy hit points. It's hard to explain. And again, like I said, I'm not far enough in to give any kind of definitive review here, but I can see why he likes this. Apparently, this is part of some series that I'm unaware of. Someone right now sending an email, you guys missed the point. This Battlesuit Aces was on TV for, I have no idea. I just know that so far the gameplay seems pretty good. So big thanks to that. Cool. Yeah, it was really cool. More regulars. I played yet another Zombie Survivors game a bunch. I played Geometry Survivors again. I love that game. All these Survivor likes, I just can't get enough of them for some reason. More Dungeon Clawler because they did an update for that. That thing is looking close to 1.0. And then today, just a reminder, the game I talked about at least, maybe not last week, maybe the week before, Slots and Daggers is out today. And this is that one I was showing you guys where it's like a slot machine and it's really cool, retro, but modern look to it. And you're fighting dudes in dungeons and earning gold and, unlocking new weapons and doing roguelike business. And I already really like it. So I played like 4 rounds and then the show started. So I had to quit.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah.
I like the look of this.
Came out today. So let's see. The reviews are only 97 reviews,
Slots
but
and Daggers?
94%. Pretty good for early reviews. Yeah, Slots and Daggers. I talked about this. I thought it was last week. Maybe it was the week before. The demo is all I had played. Yeah. It's only $6, $5.59. Just the no-brainer for me. This is just my kind of sauce. I just want to soak in this. I love this shit. Don't know why. Mechanically, just into it. And I love the art and the way he designs stuff. Oh, one part I didn't know about the demo. I didn't get to really experience this. If one of your slot machine weapons is a big, like that thing, that huge greatsword, the mechanic is I need to try to swing it hard because it's a giant sword. So he replicates that with this like timing mechanic, like right there. He has to hit it just on time to get the best possible hit. Same thing with arrows and stuff. If it's like a, crossbow, a little target's flittering around the screen and you're trying to time it so you hit it in the middle and it will stun him and do the most damage if you get a good bullseye. And if you get it on the outside, you'll still get damage, but not a ton. And then you use the points and the gold and the stuff you earn in between matches to upgrade stuff, add new weapons to the run. And then outside of the matches, just like these games go, you upgrade your health when you go in or your amount of, block capability or whatever it is, and then do a new run. Just right. It's right up my cheese. I love this shit. So
there's a lot of satisfying bloom in this game.
Oh yeah, big
I really
time.
like the way it lights up.
The lighting's great. The graphical flourishes are nice. It's just a neat game. Straight out of the gate, runs perfectly on Steam Deck, is certified on day one, and plays great on mouse and keyboard as well. So keep an eye on that. Slots and Daggers, loving that game, and I've barely touched, but I'm loving it. All right, John, let's get to the John of the argument here. The point.
Yep, exactly. That's what I've been saying all day.
Yeah. What'd you get to with Dispatch? I high anticipation for Dispatch.
I played Dispatch. It's awesome. So, first and foremost, set expectations. This is definitely following in the veins of like the Telltale games. I would say this maybe even airs a little closer to interactive TV show than Telltale Games stuff. It probably falls a little closer to TV show than some of their other projects, but the writing is really good. The performances are really good. And the thing I was not expecting, because you hear Telltale and you think of their pedigree and you think of their games and all of that, the animation in this game, it is a gorgeous game. This game is beautiful. Like, I really do feel like I am sitting there watching like a modern TV show. And sometimes I've had a couple prompts that were picked at the last second. A couple times I picked something that I maybe didn't even necessarily feel like I wanted to pick because I just got so entranced watching what I was watching that I wasn't looking to see if I needed a prompt or anything, because it looks amazing. Now, there is some gameplay elements to it beyond just like, well, they asked me to pick something and I picked something. You do play a mini game, which is the idea of dispatch to send superheroes out on jobs, which is basically a map of the city and little crises will arise and you get a description of what's going on and you have to pick which hero would go well to that based on their strengths. Sometimes you can send more than one if you want to kind of balance it out. But once they go, you obviously don't have access to that hero. Then they have to complete the mission, then they have to return, and then they have to rest. But while they're doing all this, other incidents are going to happen around the city, and they have different times that they have to be resolved in. So it's not a case of like, well, I'll just send the best hero every time. You have to really be careful. Like, okay, my character that's good at charisma, that's a good speaker, I sent them on this mission, but now here's a mission that very clearly needs a charismatic person and they're not available. What do I do? Do I send more than one hero? Sometimes you can't. You kind of have to weigh these options and really pick what you're going to do with it to balance your team. The heroes will level up as they complete jobs effectively and you can build their stats out. Some of them have different mechanics. Like there's a character named Sonar, who's voiced by Moist Critical, which I thought was really funny.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, and yep, and it's exactly like that. And I really like Sonar, but like he has a mechanic where he's very charismatic and a very good speaker, but after he completes a mission, he reverts to his feral bat form. And now he's terrible at speaking and terrible at charisma, but he's really good at fighting. So you have to anticipate that after you send him on a mission, he's not going to have the same strengths when he comes back that he did when you sent him out. You have another guy who's got kind of shitty stats, but every time he successfully completes a mission, his stats get better until he fails a mission. And it's infinite stacking. So he can become phenomenal if you can kind of get him to where he needs to be.
Got it. John's
Sorry,
coughing.
Talking a lot still causes me to cough. So
John understands the cough switch memorandum. He gets it. He understands.
I get it.
Yeah.
So I really love the story so far. It is episodic, so only the first 2 chapters are out now. But I believe next week the next 2 chapters come out. It's going to conclude sometime in November. I think there's 8 chapters overall. And they're fairly short, but the story they're telling is really compelling. The characters are phenomenal. And again, everything is voiced really, really well. They decided to go with this approach so you could kind of treat it like a TV show, so you could kind of talk about things and have time to kind of ruminate on what your decisions were and how things are going to go and all of that. And I can't wait. I can't wait to play more of it because it was a treat, and I was sad when it was over.
How's Jesse Pinkman in there?
He's doing a fantastic job. Yeah, Aaron Paul is the voice of your main character.
There's a lot of people in here. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
he
big
has
names.
said bitch. So if that
Jeffrey
was a
Wright.
prerequisite,
Oh,
Jeffrey Wright might be the secret MVP. I love his character so much. He plays a guy who's not supposed to actually be that old. I think they say he would be in his 40s or something like that. But because his power was super speed, he aged super quick. So he looks really, really old, but he kind of has the personality of a 40-year-old. And I really like his performance. It's so, so good.
I love him and everything. So hearing that he's good in this is, I mean, he's batting 1,000. So
Yeah.
that's great.
You got Travis Willingham playing a character named Phenomaman,
Sweet.
which is very hard to say, and who is like kind of your, hands on hips, stereotypical goody-goody superhero, not very smart, not very socially effective, but seems like he's maybe a good dude, maybe. But that performance has been really good too, because the whole idea is that he's powerful, but he's stupid, but he's also kind of the face of the company you work for. So they have a cutscene where he's doing an ad. And again, this goes to how well it's animated and depicted. While he's delivering the ad, not only is the dialogue a little stilted, but you can actually see his eyes tracking like he's reading from a teleprompter and like slowing down as he's reading it. And it's very effectively communicated, which if the animation wasn't as good, they wouldn't be able to do this. It is definitely rated mature. There's a penis within the first 10 minutes of the game, but
Sweet.
you can also censor it.
Okay.
Which
What's it turn it into? Turn it into a spider?
Puts
but then
a
if you're-
big black
okay.
bar.
It's a spider.
Yeah, it turns it into a spider, but if you have arachnophobic mode on, then it just becomes a floating
It just says penis and floats toward you, the word. Okay.
penis.
Great.
Penis.
Penis.
Yeah, it's really good. I've watched a couple other people play through it because I was curious what other decisions look like. And this is definitely a game that, it's about giving you what you feel like is your tailored experience. By and large, things are still going to go the same way no matter what you pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're getting railroaded, but you don't necessarily realize you're getting railroaded until you go the other routes, and then you go, oh, there isn't as much change as I think there is. But at least so far in the first two, they may be trying to avoid the Mass Effect where you give too many branches too early and then you have to account for too much at the end.
Right.
But regardless, it's about you feeling good about what you picked. And there was a lot of that. Like, there's a part where you have to decide if you want to throw water or alcohol on somebody. I chose water, and I've seen what happens if you throw alcohol. And I was like, I picked the right choice. I preferred what I chose because I think that turned out funnier, So it's a lot of stuff like that, but Dispatch is amazing. I can't recommend it enough if you're into the narrative kind of video games.
How long are these episodes?
Again, they're very short. Let me see what my playtime on the game is, because this will basically be what I did for the first two chapters. Looks like it's about an hour a chapter, roughly, because I've played 2.1 hours.
That's not bad. So about an 8-hour, 9-hour campaign, maybe 10 by the end or something.
Yeah, it depends.
It says 8 episodes. Yeah.
So they may, who knows if the
And they're going to release weekly, so the whole game should be out by mid-November.
Yeah, that's the target for it.
That's great.
So,
I may watch how you do through those releases before I commit, and then do the whole
you should
thing.
do it, Scott. You're gonna love it.
Well,
You're
I'm
gonna
definitely
love it.
waiting. Yeah, this looks sick. The animation looks amazing.
Oh, it looks incredible. It looks as good as any of that like Disney What If stuff they were doing. The style is awesome. Beautiful. Well, that's great. Glad you found it to be a winner. I was worried about that one. Not worried, but just there's a lot of hype around it.
I think for me, I was like I didn't realize I thought it was going to be a management game, not a Telltale style game. So I was a little thrown off by it. I was like, I don't know, but
I thought it was too. I thought it was more of a focus on the management. Sounds like, John, you kind of called it a mini game, but is that still, you think that's a fair?
It feels like a mini game. It feels like a mini game that might eventually unlock additional story down the road. Is what it kind of feels like, but it definitely feels like, all right, you've watched enough. Let's take a break. Let's play this little mini game, and then we'll get back to it.
Nice. Excellent. More on that as it comes out. You played a little of Outer Worlds too. I thought it wasn't coming out till next week. What the frick did I miss?
Well, it turns out I have a flaw, a fatal flaw.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I had this joke all planned because I saw it in the game, and I was like, "Oh, that'll be perfect when I talk about it." And I forgot everything about it.
Oh shit.
So you remember in the first Outer Worlds how if you took too much damage or something bad happened to you, every now and then they would give you a flaw trait.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you've got this, and maybe it gave you a perk, but it also came with a detriment. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I got this just random or if I got this because I bought the collector's edition or what. But during the course of the intro to the game, I got a flaw, which was, it's like mercantilism or something like that, where basically they said your ability to make good financial decisions is impaired. And they said, it basically goes into the fact that you can't resist marketing, which is why I think it might be tied to the collector's edition, which is why I can play the game right now because I bought the expensive version.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they're making fun of me for it.
I love that if that's true.
Basically, the perk is this. I get better discounts at shops. I get 15% off anything I purchase in shops. Mm-hmm. But I get 10% less money for everything I sell.
Oh, man.
So the idea is like you love buying stuff, but you're not going to make any money because you can't stop buying stuff.
That's great.
And I really think that it is because I bought the collector's edition of the game. And if that's true, I think it's one of the funniest jokes in a video game I've seen in a long time.
That's pretty great. I could see some people being mad about that, but I think...
Hey, why are you mad? It's true.
It's
You have this. You know what you spent on that collector's edition. You know it's true.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, it might be the best troll I've ever heard of. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I forgot they put in a legit third person mode. Are you playing that way?
No.
Okay. I heard it's good though. I heard it's good. I heard
Come on.
I thought you'd like that because you like to see your gear and your weapons and your whatnot. I figured you'd be all about it.
I do, but this is a first person game. It's just like when I play Resident Evil 9. It's gonna be. Hey John, are you playing in first person? No. I love the Resident Evils that have been in first person. They're great, but Resident Evil is a third person video game series, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just a little heads up on the Outer Worlds. If you haven't played the first one, which I haven't, it's on sale for 75% off till November 3rd.
Oh yeah, it's worth getting. I love the first one.
It's very cheap. Although I will also say I don't think you need to have any knowledge about the first game to play this game.
Yeah, I've heard that. You're in a whole new system, whole new characters.
Completely disconnected from anything that happened in the first game, near as I can tell.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal for a game.
If you want to try it, if you want to get into the universe, if you want to see it, that is certainly a way to spend far less, and you will not be afflicted with the same deficit that I've been afflicted with. I mean, this seems really solid. The intro is fairly linear. It feels like it's fairly actiony tutorial that just kind of gets you into the world and gets you into what's going on. And I have not played much beyond where it opens. So I don't have a ton to say yet, except that I think it's off to a strong start. I am going to start all over again, not just because I want to create a new character, but I do think this game offers up interesting chances to roleplay. You know, we criticized Veilguard a lot for not letting you have enough variety in your responses to how you handle things. Mm-hmm. And this game does not have that problem. This game definitely has, if you want to play like a jaded asshole that is sick of everything and doesn't want to be here, you can play that. If you want to play hands on hips heroic, you can play that. No matter what, they're putting you as kind of like space cops as your job at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like you're out to fight the corporations, but they even give you a background that basically says, yeah, you're doing this because you were in jail and this is a better alternative to jail. So even if you want to make it your backstory that like, yeah, I'm here, but I don't want to be here. Like they even give you the freedom to choose that. I really appreciate that because even though I very rarely play assholes in video games, I think it's important that you get the ability to do so. Yeah. And, you know, there's a kid that like right out of the gate, he asks you, he's like, hey, what's your philosophy on these things? Because I'm getting tips from people and they keep telling me different stuff. And, you know, you can basically tell them like, hey, we're out to do good and help people, or, hey, no one else in this world's going to look out for you. So you look out for yourself. You know, there's hey, this is a job. Stop worrying about it. You know, you get a lot of ways you can present your character. And I like that sort of thing. They do a very good job of showing you different paths that you could take depending on which talents you take. And so the RPG stuff does still seem to be, while simplified, at least pretty forefront in their design and thought in design. And yeah, I'm excited to play more.
Seems like from reviews I've read that they are... it's definitely a step above the first one in those systems. In other words, some people thought it had gone a little too far in simplifying the RPG systems, and that this was a return to maybe what they were more famous for with Fallout New Vegas when they were put in charge of that. That makes me excited because I think that there's a certain mix of Obsidian systems and Obsidian storytelling that's just the right cadence. And from everything I'm reading, it sounds like this hits that even more than the first one. And I love the first one. I played that one twice. 2 times all the way through, people. In this century, I did that. I love that game. So I'm very jazzed. I didn't realize there was an early access. I feel like an idiot. But also, I don't know. Should I pay for it? I should probably just wait. You know? Because I don't have Game Pass anymore. I ain't doing that shit. So I'll probably just wait a week.
Man, I can't believe that game's coming out this month, too. It's like so sick. Just how many games there are. Like,
also, this is a lot less static than it was in the first game. It's like a lot of the Bethesda things where it just zooms into a head and they talk to you. This girl's moving around and like emoting and like, I don't know. It's better. This is better.
Yeah.
Now I'm all excited. All right. You also played Absolum, which I want to play. It looks awesome. Tell me about this.
Yeah, Absolum is, I mean, it's what a lot of people are saying. You know, imagine if Hades was a beat-em-up style brawler, and you are on the right track with what Absolum is. It plays like a...
Like a side-scroller? Okay, yeah.
It's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
Yeah.
With fairly simple combinations of buttons and whatnot. There are perks that you unlock as you go. When you die, you reset. You try again. You know, and there's narrative reasons for that reset and rebirth and continue. The thing that I think makes Absolum stand out is definitely the art. And I don't know if you want to fast forward to where we're in gameplay. Because, like, the funny thing is this stuff from the cutscene, you're like, yeah, okay. The gameplay, once you're in the game, this world looks beautiful.
This does look
nice. It is so well drawn and animated, and it has so much style to it. It's incredible looking, and I would say that in a lot of ways, this game feels like it stands toe-to-toe with Hades, but in different ways. Like, not that they're the same game, but that it's like out to set a standard for a style right along with Hades. The only thing that hasn't really landed for me the same way that it did for Hades is the story. I'm not as invested in the story as I was with Hades. That could be I'm just more interested in Greek mythology than I am generic fantasy. But and I'm not as interested in a 2D beat 'em up than I am, you know, the isometric battler that Hades is. But
yeah, because this is still like 2.5D sort of, right? This thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But overall, this game is very, very good. If there wasn't so much stuff vying for my attention right now, including Hades 2, ironically, I would probably be giving this a lot more time. It's just a case of there is something in the back of my mind when I was playing it that was saying, you haven't finished Hades 2 yet. Why are you playing another game like Hades?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, brain, that's a fair point. And I will acknowledge it. And so I haven't put a ton of time into it, but we had a lot of people coming in and asking about it. If you're interested in this game, it's good. Check it out. It's worth getting into. If you like games like Hades or you like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, it's worth checking out. It is absolutely quality. The only reason I haven't stuck with it is because so much is pulling my attention right now, including a game that I'm further along in and more invested in that's very similar to this one.
Oh, well, do tell. You want to do that one next?
Well, that's Hades 2.
Oh, Hades 2. Got it. I thought you had another one. I was like, holy shit, what has John found that he didn't put in here? Awesome. I kind of want to check that out. That looked pretty cool to me. It says Dotemu guys or Dotemu. Anyway.
.emu.
Yeah. They did Shredder's Revenge, the one you guys played a bunch of, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comeback thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They did Streets of Rage 4, which I quite liked. Recently, the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound 2D one they published. So they seem to have they got kind of a lock on this kind of thing, on these 2D things, which is great. There's ex-SNK people involved here. Oh, that must be why they do Metal Slug Tactics. Anyway, whatever. That's cool. I want to check those guys out. John, tell us about your time, and It Has My Face, a game I talked about last week, I think.
Yeah, this will be super quick because I really don't have anything else to say except what Scott already said about it. So if you missed Scott talking about it, it's a game where you run around in a 3D environment, you look at what your face looks like, and then you find somebody else in the world that looks exactly like you, and you murder them before they murder you. And it's fun. Like the thing is it's not super complicated. It's not an insanely high concept. It maybe tries to be. Like there is a story and there's some stuff you're doing in between runs. But for me, like I just like going in and I just sort of like the main loop of what the actual game is and just going, what do I look like? All right, where is he? All right, what kind of weapon do I have to work with? All right,
it reminds me, it's like something you play, like a mod for Quake or Unreal or something that just did one little simple thing really well, and it's this hunt down your doppelganger thing, and it works. It's just fun,
and it's just fun to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played a little bit of that, and again, everything Scott said about it, I'm on board with. I just don't really have anything to add. It's not a super deep or complicated game in terms of concept or what it's bringing to the table. So I just sort of agree with everything he said. I had a lot of fun playing it.
Nice. Bo, let's talk about Fellowship because Tanner also gifted me this game, so that means we need to play this.
Oh, we have to play
Tanner
this
didn't give it to me, which makes me think Tanner knows me very well.
I feel like Tanner knows exactly.
I feel like there was a deliberate snub, and you know what? I respect the snub because I was like, oh, Bo got a game. And I went and I looked at it and I went, I don't care.
There was you guys both got Battlesuit Aces, and I'm not sure if Keebs gifted me anything, so it's fine.
Yeah, Keebs is like, you don't like battle suits.
They think they know what we'll like, and they're probably correct. So
They probably are.
Although I think you probably enjoy this game.
Nailed this.
I mean, I'm looking at this, and if I didn't know better, because he also gave it to me, I would say, you just play World of Warcraft? What's these mods you got loaded here? This is really weird. What would you say?
So Fellowship, for people who don't know, is a game that just got released where basically you are in a fantasy world doing WoW mythic dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
God, that sounds so awful. Thank you, Tanner.
He spared him.
I've never been so happy to not be gifted something.
If the idea is like skip the grind, right? That's the idea.
Well, so the problem with Mythic Plus in World of Warcraft is that there's nothing really. It's a fun system. Like I actually got into M Plus during season 1 of War Within because I needed the crests to upgrade my gear to help for raid. And I actually got in and found I was like enjoying it because it's dungeons, but what if they're challenging?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if every trash pull is like a boss? In that you have to make sure you got your kicks, you have to dodge mechanics. Like, it's not trash anymore. It's just relevant content.
Yeah.
So the Mythic Plus system is actually supremely engaging if you like gameplay that actually requires you to pay attention, I guess, rather than just like make health bars go down.
Mm-hmm.
So, it
I
still
play
is
a rogue. All I care about is making health bars go down.
Mm.
Well, if you don't kick things, people will be upset because like it'll wipe the run basically.
And
So,
also hiding from trash,
Yeah.
which I doubt this game lets me do.
Well, like Bo said, the trash, every piece of trash in this is supposed to be a challenge in its own way, right?
it's a challenge, but here's the thing: like when you're doing a Mythic Plus season, there's usually like 10 to 20 difficulties that people are working with. I don't know if people go higher, but on average, you're doing it for the sake of getting raid stuff, and the people that are just into it basically do it for fun. Like there isn't really an M plus system that gets you gear that rewards you for being an M plus. So it's kind of like it's a fun game system, but like a lot of things in World of Warcraft, it's half-assed because we can't also damage this other part of the gameplay balance. Like everything has got to be in World of Warcraft. We can't have good stuff because PvP exists, for example.
Yeah.
So this game says, what if we just take this game mode here and make an awesome progression system because you'll just have fun doing the game mode. And I gotta say, game's pretty damn good. The first thing they've done is like as a WoW clone in terms of like you have mounts, you have hot bars and damage meters and all that shit. They've 1-to-1 the game in that if you've played WoW, you know how to play this game. Like there's like nothing strange about it. I think if you haven't played an MMO before, you might almost be a little overwhelmed because it assumes that you know these things. However, one thing I like over this is the way like the hotbar setup is done. There's a whole screen where you can configure things, but you don't have 8 billion buttons. Like every class kind of has like between 10 and 12 buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's more you can get because there's a whole 6-tier progression system of difficulty where the dungeons ramp in difficulty. So like as a baseline, it's a fairly straightforward game, but you get these modifiers that make the challenge harder. The monsters get new mechanics as you get deeper. I'm only in like tier 2 of 5, I think, right now. And just like M plus, you get a piece of gear at the end, and you slowly progress your character. But the thing about an M plus dungeon in WoW, it's like finding the group with a key with pugs can take like 20 minutes. It can take a long time depending on what role you are. And the dungeons themselves take anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes sometimes, depending on how it's going. This game says, well, what if a dungeon only had one boss in it?
Yeah. And what if it was 10 minutes instead of an hour?
Like basically a dungeon is 10 minutes. So it's not like this slugfest. You press Q. I'm playing a tank, but I've queued up as other roles. You pretty much get a group in about 30 seconds. Max, maybe a minute.
Is your spec usable? You have specs like you're only a tank, or can you?
No. Well, you basically you don't play an MMO hero where you create your character. It's more like a MOBA where they're pre-made characters, right? Like you're playing the warrior and they have a name. I just don't know the names of them.
It's almost like a return to Guild Wars 1. That vibe.
Kind of.
Like,
yeah. So like there are talents and there is gear and there's like relics, like trinkets basically, which have like, there's a lot of customization, but there's stuff you don't need. For example, you don't level up in this game. There's no experience points.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a tree, which is like you can do the easy dungeons to slowly unlock your class and learn the different buttons and get new ones. And then once you've like done like the free play easy mode, you can start climbing up the ladder, getting gear, and then you get unlocks for increasing your dungeon rating, which might include new talent points. And it has the talent system of like, maybe it was Legion, where you had 3 bars, like you have different rows.
Yeah.
In WoW when they did talents that way, like you could pick you'd have 3 different options and you pick one. This one you could pick any of them. You just unlock them. Sorry, guys, Steve.
Do it. Let it rip. Woo! I'm a big fan that it's a man's right to sneeze as loud and as big as they need to.
I mean, I just can't control it. It's a big thing. I got really ticklish in my nose there.
Love it.
But no, the it's got like, so I'm constantly earning like talent points or getting gear upgrades, and the dungeon runs are quick. Mm-hmm. And except for their capstone dungeons, kind of like in Diablo, they had like capstone events before you could go to another tier. Mm-hmm. And those dungeons are 3 boss dungeons. They're like bigger affairs that require a bit more planning and learning and practice. All I have to say is they've done a fantastic job. This is early access, so they've got more planned down the pipe. I'm hoping to see more heroes. I think it'll be seasons based. So I've seen a lot of WoW creators say like, this is the kind of thing where like WoW will come out with a season, they'll get done with it, and then they'll go play Fellowship, right? Like as like a supplemental, because there's only so much you can do with the WoW Mythic thing. It doesn't really give you anything, but this has leaderboards, and there's like cosmetic unlocks for how well you do in a season, and stuff like that. So you get rewards based on your performance. Basically, the seasons feel like they work like Diablo 3 seasons work. It's not a bad thing.
And these are ex Blizzard people, some of them. I think
so. I think they're based in Sweden, the overall developer, but I'm not sure.
There's something like that.
I don't know much about there, but I know I've seen their video earlier. Okay, well, this is someone who's DCing. Mm-hmm. The other nice thing about the game is that like if a dungeon goes wrong, because it's not long, it's pretty easy just to drop and reform another dungeon. You're not like super tilted about it, honestly. Mm-hmm. And it's not 5 players per dungeon; it's 4 players.
Oh,
so that kind of change like helps a little bit. Like it's, I don't know, everyone's just a little more impactful. It's not like you have 3 damage dealers that all just want to like get carried by the people doing more. The design of the dungeons is such that everyone has like important roles to play. Everyone has to do like interrupts, and there's like dodging mechanics and things to learn, and they've done their dungeons and like are designed kind of be like face rolly a bit, even if they have mechanics as opposed to like raids. Whereas this one's like very much designed to be like they've made raid like mechanics for the smaller dungeon teams. Like I'll have no doubt that Fellowship will come up with things that like the WoW team will rip off at some point, I think is what I'm trying to say. The same way they do with mods, like if mods are really good, they'll just include them in the game.
Sure. See them do that all
I have
the time.
A feeling there's going to be some of that going on with this game. It's good. I I played it a bit. I was like, oh, it's fun. And then I was like, I want to go play some more. And I keep playing every day because it keeps calling me back to
and these are just rando groups. You're not with bots or anything.
I've only played with bugs. Now, a lot of the reviews, and I think I agree, if I have 3 friends to play with who can do this, it would be way more preferable and fun. And, but I've only had a couple of bad experiences. Like there was one guy at level, like it was just really comical. Somebody wanted me to pull more. Or no, I was healing. I was just trying out the healer. So it was like my first run as the healer. Yeah. And they pulled like 5 packs and then died. And it's like, oh man, the healer's barely pressing buttons. I'm like, this is literally my first hour playing. And everyone else thought the tank was an idiot. But like, again, it's not like we spent time forming a group and then someone misbehaved. It was like, 3 minutes of my time lost. I just reformed a group. And overall, the positive experiences for me outweighed like the bad ones. But there are like for lack of a better word, like, WoW idiots that.
Oh, I'm sure. They've come right over. Yeah.
Too. Another one was critiquing how big of the packs, because I'm mostly playing tank. And it wasn't. You pull big packs in M+ because you have a timer, right? So, right. But you don't actually have to pull that big of packs as long as DPS is good enough. You're making good pace, it'll be fine. But again, it is the first hour of me playing, or first couple hours. I'm still learning the dungeon layouts and stuff. Like you got to give people time.
Even their little their little skill list here. These look like old WoW vanilla screens. Crazy.
So that's not a skill list. That's difficulty 6, and it'll roll random dungeons on contenders. So that's your rewards. Like everything is streamlined to make information easy to grok. Yeah. So if you queue up as challenge 6, you'll get one of these 3 dungeons as a random thing. That's the rewards you'll get. And and then you just keep queuing. It has currency systems where you can break down your items and re-roll them for new ones. It's not complicated
Yeah, and I'm not saying this
art.
art style is exactly the Blizzard thing, but it's pretty damn close. I mean, look at that.
Oh yeah, like but it still feels like it's its own, has its own feel to it. It doesn't feel like everything is definitely WoWified completely, but it doesn't feel like you're playing the WoW client. It feels a little more modern, but the fidelity is a little less than the WoW animation and graphics and stuff, which is technically better. But I don't know, it feels chunky and good, and I'm a big fan. Actually, I was kind of skeptical that I would like it that much, and I'm surprised to find I like it more than I thought I would.
Nice.
So
it's good, Tanner. Haven't had a chance yet, but I look forward to playing that.
Well, pick me, and we'll run some. Like I can, we can.
Yeah, you're gonna carry me just like in real World Warcraft.
No, there's no carrying. There's no carrying. Everyone, it's not.
Do you scale?
The early stages? It's not that hard of a game. Like
right, but do you scale?
Yes,
yeah, okay. So if I'm Lobby and you're level 5 or something, we can still run together.
There's no levels.
Okay.
There's no levels. There's just item levels. So like I might have a high item level, but we can run whatever difficulty we want. It's not. I think the power differentials are like, in terms of scalability, not that big. Like we'll still obviously I ran a low level dungeon for fun just to warm up. It was not as hard as doing the current tier of difficulty, but it didn't feel like, I wasn't having a bad time. It was fine. I got my loot and got out. So yes, we can and I can play a different character. The thing is, like, let's say on my tank warrior character, I'm like got high tier loot. I'll just play something different. I'll play a different tank, or I'll play different DPS.
Okay.
Like there's like 8 or 10 characters in there. I haven't leveled them all up. We can just flip around and play whatever, So
I also just like the dip in, dip out nature of it, because it's
you can literally like do 3 dungeon runs in 30 minutes and then be out. Like,
it's like doing a Heroes game or something.
Mythic can be quick too, but when you're doing relevant keys, if you don't have a regular group, you've got to kind of shop around, and heaven help you if you're a DPS, because
F that.
There's a whole gear score issue. People you'll apply, they don't want you. This one is just it's so much easier to roll into a game, and it's so less devastating if a match goes bad. You just can shake it off pretty quick.
Nice.
So.
Now, while we were all sleeping, No Man's Sky put out another damned patch, and I reinstalled the game again because I was like, gosh dang it. But I haven't played yet, so Bo, what's going on with this thing?
So I definitely got in there because there's a new expedition, and I was like, man, I want to get back into No Man's Sky. I haven't really stopped playing all that much, although I did take a longer break because of Hades. And I don't know much about what the update is, except my impression is it's a little taste of Hardship Spacebreaker or whatever, or Space
Hard Space Shipbreaker.
Basically, you find floating wrecks, and you go out into 0G. And you right now, all I've done is just shoot 2 pieces off. Like, it's not the full game that you love,
no.
But it's like it's still that vibe of like I got to find an abandoned ship, and then to get Corvette parts, I can just siphon off 2 of them. And then that's pretty much it. Like it wasn't much, but like it's still enough. I'm still learning in the expedition, so maybe there's more. But still, it's
I like
update to a game, and then now I can hang out in 0G and look for ships, and it's just a new thing.
Yeah, it does seem like they're like, you know what? We know what we want now after the expedition, whatever the last patch was called, where we got the ship customization. Yeah. Now they're just like, well, let's do more shit like that. Let's add to that.
And they also added new ship parts for the Corvette.
Right.
So there's these Atlas pieces and stuff. So there's even more to like play with in terms of building your own ship. Like I'm at a point now where I'm like, I never really built my own Corvette. I didn't really get into it. I just got into all the other things in the game.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I think I kind of want to build a sick ass Corvette. Like I just got to farm these parts and make a crazy one.
You probably accidentally farmed most of them, right? Like
I have a ton of parts. The problem is like they're kind of mismatched. It's hard. Like I don't play in creative mode. I'm sure in creative mode it's fine, but I'm just like, I won't really want 8 of this type, but I have 2 of this type and 2 of this type, and so that's why I say I'm farming parts in the more survival mode, because you can't just buy them or just get them. But,
yeah. You have the whole like sell your extras or do trades, and it's okay. That stuff is a little tedious. It's not my favorite part.
But it's okay. I don't mind, because when I go in there, I'm not like looking for an end result. I just go in and see what activity I'm interested in, and then the hours fly by. So it's fun.
Well, what'd you end up thinking of Ball X Pit after I gave it a glowing review last week? What do you think?
So I need to thank Rabble for the gift. That was a gift as well that I got from someone named Rabble or Rabby.
Rebel.
And I liked it. It was a good time. I really wanted to play Fellowship more. It sort of fell to the side a bit because Fellowship's just got caught, and No Man's Sky is calling my attention.
Yeah.
And Battlefield 6. There's so much to play right now. It's just like that Bollocks Pit is good, but it's not like a high priority for me. But I
ran into a similar issue. Thank you to Rabble for gifting it. This one was gifted. And so I haven't played it because I was playing a lot of other stuff, but I want to play it.
I still get in there and play that. I played some. I forgot to put it on my list, but I played that this week too. The game is awesome.
Definitely feels like a good Steam Deck game, but I don't have one of those. So
well, that, but also just like you say, there are things. It's kind of it's like a palate cleanser game. A lot like all these Survivor games are kind of. They're just like, well, I'll do this for a while until the next big thing hits or whatever. But the problem is we are not in a time where we're waiting for giant things to hit. They're hitting all the time. Wham, 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 wham.
Really big, interesting things happening right now. So, but I do like it. Like I actually like. It's definitely a Survivor like a little bit. It's its own thing where it's like Arkanoid, but you don't do much apart from move around, pick up gems like a certain Vampire Survivor style game.
Yeah.
And you shoot, instead of the monsters coming at you from all directions, they're coming at you from the top. And, you can turn on. One of the first things they tell you is like, if you don't want to press the button to make the ball shoot, you can do that. And I was like, come on now. I want to press something.
I warned you last week. He gave you the option because you asked, and I said, you can hit Y and it'll shut it off. But you don't have to.
Man. I like pressing buttons. Like stop. That's my major gripe with that whole genre. Is just like it's like here's the innovation. Let's remove buttons.
Beep. Just beep. That's how we're gonna play games in the future.
I might as well just read a book at some point. And, it's no buttons at all.
Yeah.
Or watch a TV show.
Sure.
But it's I enjoyed it. I like the aesthetic of the balls.
I do too. I like a good ball in my
balls
hand.
Bouncing everywhere. I'm just like I'm a fan. This is cool.
Yeah, and there's some moments of I've gotten high or far enough where mayhem can happen that is just really satisfying. Early on, it's a little like okay, lots of balls, lots of hits,
good numbers, and I also just like that when they have status effects, like if they're bleeding, their little things are full of blood or fire or whatever. Like
the aesthetic.
I don't know. Overall, I like the aesthetic.
Yeah, aesthetic's nice. I like it a lot. And then you blew my mind with this news. Breaking news, everybody. Farthest Frontier is now 1.0. What?
Oh yeah.
What?
That's the biggest. This is the biggest release in October. I've been counting down the days.
I'm
It was
excited.
1.0 yesterday. Congratulations to Create Entertainment on one of the greatest games ever made.
Wow.
Should this be in the top 100?
Yeah, put that in the list. Get somebody call PC Gamer. Get that fixed.
But I definitely Banished would definitely be a subject of conversation for that list, and it's not on there. But Farthest Frontier is about as good as it gets in terms of carrying on the torch, I think, of a game like Banished. And it's a 1.0. There's a tech tree. I played, but I started my settlement in a bad spot, and they all died of cold because I didn't get firewood fast enough. I was very embarrassed. I'm like, I'm better at this game than this one. I didn't even survive year one. But I was kind of playing in a rush, so it wasn't carefully considering, carefully considering surviving that first hump. But I find it pretty hard to wipe out your civilization in this game.
Yeah, I mean, unlike Banished, they do give you some levels.
I just settled in a spot without not many trees, and they were having a hard time getting trees for the firewood chopper. And food, there was no water there, so I sort of insisted on being close to like this little water, which had great fishing, but like I need, you need to forage for fruits and vegetables. There's other things to do. So I'll just start again. But I love this game, and it's I mean, I don't know that I saw new content because I played only like an hour or so, but I did see that there was a tech tree so that you earn knowledge points, and then you can unlock a different series of tech, which is pretty cool.
I saw your note, and I immediately went and reinstalled it. I can't wait to go try it again. Excited. Yeah, I like 1.0 stuff we talked about like a year ago, and then finding out like, it's out.
This game's been in early access for like 3 years and change, so it's nice to finally see it fully out in the wild.
One day this will be me with Shapes with a Z2, and I'm going to be ecstatic. Right now, you just have to hear me be annoying about it for a while. Yeah.
But if you like City Builder, Farthest Frontier is out, and I love this one. This one's definitely one of my faves.
Nice.
Okay. Lastly, I did the usual suspects. I played some Void Crew with the team last week, and we're still sort of learning the ropes on that one. We're having trouble deciding whether to jump space or not, because jump space in some ways looks cooler, but no one's like put down the money yet to like try the game out. So,
oh yeah,
so
some
still playing Void Crew.
See really good reviews for jump space, but.
Yeah, I think it's the same kind of game, but Jump Space is a little bit more first-person shootery. It honestly looks better, but I need to try it before I can tell other people to put money down for it, because it might not be that good.
I wonder how functional the demo is for multiplayer stuff. Maybe there's
I think it's intended to be 4 players. So,
yeah. Okay.
But Void Crew remains, fun. We still can't survive like the first boss in a lot of cases. I don't know if it's a skill issue or not. The game's quite challenging, but we're having a good time with it. So
tell Crofton to get good, G-U-D. All right.
I'll send him the message.
Yeah, let him know. Or I guess what's his name? We'll let him know, and then we'll hear about it.
Yeah. Clip this, Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, get this, Ryan. All right. We're going to play. Oh, it's this part of the show.
That's a good question.
We're going to tear through these. We got a call, a short one about somebody had a good time laughing at some stuff that was said or done. Well, anyway, here it is.
Hey, Scott, John, and Bo. I have never laughed so hard than when I did last week when you played Scott's mashup of him screaming throughout Silent Hill F. I played it for my wife. I played it for my kids. My kids wanted to hear it twice. That content was gold, and it was hysterical. Keep up the great work, guys. Love everything y'all do.
Well,
Bye-bye.
good news is we're not done with that game yet, so there'll probably be more of that.
Great Foley work on that call, by the way. It sounded like he was out for a walk.
Yeah, I first thought it was someone eating
that.
chips next to him.
I thought he was cutting grass or raking up rocks. I don't know. It sounded
It's
good.
possible. That's also the beard scratching sound. It's possible some 5 o'clock shadow is being scratched.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it sounded like he was out for a walk on a stone path. That's
what we're going with.
I could see that.
Yeah. Busy. It had a rhythmic.
Call in again and let us know what you were doing.
Yeah.
And
I'm a big fan of good Foley work on these call-ins.
let's just keep it going. Each time you call in, we'll guess what activity you were up to, and then you let us know if we're right.
I like it.
No jerking off, please. Like it's been.
Don't do that one.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that.
I wasn't. I
But
was
that's
just
not gonna
showing
get
the sound
played.
of one hand clapping.
No, but some clowns are gonna think that's a funny idea and try doing it. And we're gonna be like,
I would probably I would probably not play it on the show, but I would probably send it to you two to hear what you got. I would be very quick.
well, if you got to be traumatized, we all have to traumatize.
Yeah, I can't take this on my own. All right, one quick text here from a listener. This came to the 10hams line, 10hams.com. It says this simply, I don't agree with Bo all that often, but I'm with him on military.
All right.
He says, I'm with him on military shooters. I was a Marine, and I have zero desire to play those games. It feels like playing an awful chorecore game about cleaning up diarrhea. And then he signed it, The Innocent Fish Bo Lake ran.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess he doesn't agree with me on a lot of things because I shat on him.
Yeah, probably. But this is somebody from the military.
He's probably going to be really upset with me this episode and all my survivor.
I don't know. Maybe this will be the second time they agree with you.
I don't know. Well, he was a Marine, so I can only imagine. Like, what if someone thought your job was cool, but it's not? Like, I don't know. I pump gas or whatever. Well, I guess they make a gas. You play gas pumper simulator. So.
I did.
But I think if you do something, you're like, I'm so sick of this. The last thing you want to do is do that as a video game with all these chorecore stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, and military comes with the added not dissatisfaction, the added thing of it being just horror.
Yeah.
Like,
modern day horror. Yeah.
My buddies got blown up by an IDE, and I'm the only one that survived. Yay! Let me go play a military shooter. So cool, awesome. I was asked to kill these people, and I had questions about why they might not be that innocent, or it's like, talk to any veteran, and I'm sure they're not like, man, I love the military. I wish Call of Duty was more realistic, so it was as traumatizing as my actual time. And they're like,
yeah, I know enough people in the military that are just like, yeah, it's a little too much. I think they. Like me, I prefer the campaigns when they're like World War II, World War I, other conflicts that are way out of historical view.
I assume all the people who really like milsims are not in the military, or they're certified actual psychos that like the
Well, some of them think they're good enough to be in the military.
Sure, that won't be a controversial take.
No, we'll get no emails.
I don't think
that.
it's controversial. I think if you're I think a lot of stuff's like that, not just military, right? Like you might glorify something, especially as a younger person,
right.
And then you do it. You're like, oh, I watched this Cops and Robbers TV show, and man, law enforcement looks amazing. And then you get in law enforcement, and you're like, oh, I got to call in for some guy got a fish stuck up his ass, and I got to help him get it out.
Yeah,
that was a real cop that told me that story. That's a true story.
Is that real? Wow.
yeah. There was a guy who was an ex-cop I worked with for a while, and he's telling me his cop stories.
Did he ever get to why a fish up your butt? What was that? It was just.
It was just something that the two men involved were doing for fun. Sexually.
I mean, speaking
fishes
of,
have scales, so it goes in good
in
one way,
real
it doesn't
easy,
come out the other way.
Not out well. Nope.
And they called 911, and he shows up, and he's just like, Jesus Christ! Like you think like, oh man, I'm gonna stop some evil people, and really it's like the actual 9 to 5 of it is just helping people out. With,
to John's point, I think I would know going into that. I'd say this is like an arrowhead.
Yes, I know it's rated, but like sometimes you don't think about it.
It was the heat of the moment, Scott. It was me, somebody else, and a fish. What else were we gonna do?
We both looked at
the
that
passion
and had the
flared.
same idea, and then we did it.
Maybe,
but all that to say is like that's like maybe a lighter way of putting that. Like the things you actually do are like, that's terrible for the people involved. I'm sure it hurt. But you're involved in all kinds of just like sad situations. That's like your week. That's your work week is like.
Well, we talked about the PC Gamer top 100 list that they do annually. Another fun annual list that at least for a while was coming out was the year-end stuff people stuck up their butt, and it was a hospital that would show all the weird things that people put up their butt that year.
I didn't know about that. Where is that a thing still?
Yeah, Google it. Google the year of things up the butt. I don't know what you should Google, but it's up there.
Wait,
I'm a little
top
scared.
100 things up your butt list.
I don't know if it's 100, but there used to be an annual list of weird things people put up their butt.
What did we get stuck in our rectums last year?
Yeah, see? I'm not making this up.
No. John did not make this up. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few things. They have all kinds of stuff for nose, throat, ear, and all that, but let's get down to the bum. Oh, they have penis stuff. Ugh. All right, penis. Pipe cleaner. They got
We're talking butt. Why'd you stop on penis?
All right. Because one of them's really gross. Somebody jammed a bunch of fingernail clippings in their pee-pee, and they had to go get it out.
Oh, why?
That's what it says.
Can I get a link? What are you guys looking at?
A command strip 3M plastic hook. What the hell is that?
Have you moved to butt yet?
No,
or is
I'm
that
working
still
on
penis?
it. There's vagina. Okay, here's rectum. All right, here it is. Christmas ornament ball. Oh, I hope it's not glass.
That seems real bad.
Billiard ball, nail file, shot glass, crack cocaine with sex objects, SD card. I wonder if it read it.
SD card?
What? Jumped on bed, toothbrush was on bend, went up patient's rectum, unquote. That's a full quote. That's what we're going to believe. Sat down on sofa, accidentally sat on ballpoint pen lodged in rectum. Maybe.
I've got some X-ray. I found a site with some X-ray photos.
Yeah, I found a few of those too. They're gross. I can't show these. Plastic pencil case, marker, green crayon, iPad stylus, lube bottle with cap on. Oh boy, you're really running out of stuff.
What about this one though? I found one that has a handgun. I'll put the X-ray image in the.
Oh shit. I don't know. Am I going to have to look at this? Hold on.
It's just an X-ray. It's a pelvic bone with a handgun there.
All right,
I'm
looking. Oh, geez. That's a big person or a tiny gun? Which is it?
But it's just funny. It's a whole gun handle and everything, I guess.
Is it a... Yeah, but you just see what I'm saying? That person's either really big...
that could be photoshopped for all I know, okay?
That should not be real.
Why would you put a handgun? That seems so dangerous, dude.
That's horrifying. Yeah, they're a lot like this. Here's another one. small shampoo bottle, a full-sized aerosol can.
Chat's
Jeez.
response to Bo's picture of the gun was just, "That's an American."
Well, I assume so.
Omega 9, that's fantastic.
Whoops, I forgot to delete it. It's over Bo's face. There we go. Oh, this is great. Squirted mixed. Listen to this one. Quote, squirted mixture of bleach and water into rectum wanting to prevent AIDS, unquote. I don't think it works that way. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not a doctor. I recommended that, I have to think.
Oh, my favorite one is the last one on the list. Significant amount of string. That's amazing. What is that? What is a significant amount of string in one's area of no return?
I don't know. You'll know it when you see it, though, or feel it, I guess.
Yeah. Gnarly. Gross. Well, anyway.
So, yeah, there you go. I told you. There's the people stick weird stuff up there enough to where they do this list every year, it feels like.
All right.
It does.
Well, and that's if you're a policeman, that you might be dealing with that, according to the policeman that I talked to.
Right. And this military guy that wrote in, I just want to say one thing to him. He says it's about a chorecore game about cleaning up diarrhea. Funny enough, you say that. Today was also the release date of Power Washer 2. Came out today. Power Washer Simulator 2. I grabbed it. I haven't played it yet, but maybe there'll be some diarrhea to clean up in there. I don't know.
That would be something if they actually put diarrhea, because you definitely want to power wash that. I don't want to be touching it.
I'm excited, though. I put a lot of hours in that first one, so I'm actually kind of... It'd probably be like the same game. I don't expect Power Washer Simulator 2.
Yeah, do you think there'll be a big technical jump from 1 and 2 in terms
maybe
of
a little
power wash?
Maybe fidelity, maybe the multiplayer's more people, maybe it's... I don't know what to expect.
You think there'll be more realistic washing of, like, removal of particles from the thing that you're spraying? Maybe
that could be. That'd be cool if they improve that part of the wash engine.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
And maybe it's Unreal or something. I don't know. Anyway, we'll let you know. But for now, we must say, do the 10 Hams thing, 10hams.com. And now you must listen to this mashup. This is a classic mashup from the year 2022. I hesitate to say the title, but I'll say it. Thanks for this, Jamie. It is Core Classics, J's or Jizz.
I'm pretty sure I'm responsible for this conversation.
Good deal, because I don't remember this.
I am 100% sure this is about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, J's or
And-
Jizz? How?
Yes, because jazz in Star Wars is called jizz music.
That's
and
right.
I know this, and I will tell anybody who wants to listen that Star Wars music is called jizz.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
funny.
true. I associate jizz with John because of the Star Wars conversation. Whenever I hear jizz as a musical style, I think John.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that at that. Let's click this and see what we get.
Yo ho, we're clearly on a track. And like as they just dance around.
Yo ho, we're clearly on a track. I'm not saying anything to you, bag of shit. Jeez.
What it feels like is, when you make a customized character in a game and
Sure.
it's got sliders.
Yeah,
and
penis,
you go,
like a penis slider.
You go,
Yeah.
let me try moving the nose shape. And you go, oh, no, that's not it. And you move it back, and you're 100% certain you put it back where it was. And you're like, the whole face is f***ed. Like, what happened?
No, Patrick never kissed me, not once. I mean,
Is your penis?
no, yes, he touched me with his Europeanus. I did not expect that.
Shit, it was moist again. Oh,
Yeah,
crap.
whatever.
Okay.
It's fine.
Everything's ephemeral. Ephemeral.
Effing Muriel.
Everything's ephemeral. It's fine. If it makes the service better.
up because you ordered cookies from Amazon, but fine. If you're going to talk like that, I'm going to go back to my house and eat them on my own.
That's right. I want to hold one just to see.
Yeah, I do want to touch it.
Yeah, I want to touch it.
I've watched a lot of videos after beating it. I was like, all right, let's go.
Give me the old lady voice to make up for it, Amazon. Then we're friends again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we getting
Oh, it's just, sometimes. I mean, I would be much easier for me to forgive my Echo if she talked like that. That's all I'm saying.
Experiencing an error. I've decided to turn off and on your lights to let neighbors know you might not be able to order more of our products. Coming in here with your guns and your glamours and your light systems.
See, Mr. Wayne, you're not going to catch me because I'm Hairbird.
Hairbird.
You won't get me. The only way you'll see me, Mr. Wayne, is in a YouTube thumbnail.
That got me in the mood to play a brand new game that hit Game Pass over the week called Olija. Olija. I don't know. How would you say it? Olija. Olija. I'm not sure.
I mean,
but
it depends on like what we're saying here, but if it's Eastern European, like I'm guessing, the J's are Jizz.
Jizz?
Like my brother is Jacob.
Oh, Jacob.
But my Hungarian grandmother would call him Jakob.
Jacob.
I don't think we're going to be able to get away with calling this episode
Jacob.
Jizz or Jizz.
Right. In Eastern European, it's not jizz, it's yiz. Yiz. Please don't yiz on me.
So context was different though than you thought.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was going to be about Star Wars jazz music.
It was still you though. J's or Jizz. You did it. Last
I don't
time.
get half of what we said on that thing. What is
No,
a hairbird?
I don't. You were making a fake Batman
They're apparently
villain.
a Batman villain.
I love it. I'm sad I forgot it. I want to write it down now. That's a great name.
you'll see me, Mr. Wayne, is in a YouTube thumbnail. What a threat.
What a catchphrase.
I might draw a hairbird. I might do that. I don't even know what that looks like, but I'm going to maybe
I
draw it.
also like that his
don't know what
rivalry
the
is
context
apparently with Bruce Wayne, not Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not threatening Batman. He's like, Mr. Wayne, the only way you will get me is in a YouTube thumbnail.
I'm Hairbird.
I hate billionaires.
I don't know, man. I want to explore it, though. I think DC's missing out on an opportunity
We
here.
have to go back and listen to the whole episode. God knows how many years ago that was.
That was amazing. Thank you, Jamie. That was 2022 is when that was. We know that. But
He's cooking some stuff, apparently. He keeps dropping little hints like, oh man, I got 500 clips. I'm looking forward to his work.
yeah, like our newer stuff, he's got apparently a real canon going. So we'll see.
He asked me for something, and I was like, you are asking me to remember like 15 years ago, like the amount of time he was asking me
Was it
for
the
a memory.
was it the ogre thing? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
trying to get it from me too. I don't know where that is.
I was like, dude, that was the end of Burning Crusade, start of Lich King
Yeah.
era of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
That is so far back.
Yeah.
I don't remember the stuff that's in his mashups.
Yeah, no, I don't remember.
Let alone,
Yeah.
but I do remember you saying org.
I do remember Org and the ogre thing. That I remember. I just don't know when it was, and I will never forget Hairbird ever again. That's staying right here.
The hairbird.
The Hairbird. Look out, Bruce. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, it's funny that it isn't Batman. That's,
I know it's a weird thing. Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wayne.
Never really works like
face
that.
The hairbird.
I'd like to remind folks that we are supported by you at patreon.com/core show. We got brand new patrons this week, Nate and Cody Jones. Those are two different people, Nate and also Cody Jones.
Not Nate Cody Jones.
Not Nate Cody Jones. It sounds like a real name, like an author.
It does.
Thanks,
It sounds
Nate.
like
Thanks,
a cool.
Cody Jones.
Sounds like a cool guy that you would always use all three names for. Like, hey, I wouldn't do that. Nate Cody Jones told everybody to watch out because if you come around here, Nate Cody Jones he doesn't appreciate that behavior on his street.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with anyone named Nate Cody Jones. So you two should team up and tell the world why it's so cool that you joined us on Patreon. I can tell you some of the reasons. They get no commercials or ads. They get pre-show content every week. They get monthly art in the mail, game-related stuff. Just did some new ones of that. And host specials on the monthly. Oh, I've got one ready. We'll go up before the end of the month. Listen for it.
You should, because apparently we're behind a little
We are
bit.
behind a little bit. Yeah, once again,
I
we're
kept
behind.
saying, well, it's not my turn, but
Yeah.
apparently it's probably back to my turn by now.
Yeah. What is time? I don't even know what time is.
Look, if joining Patreon was good enough for Nate Cody Jones,
Yeah.
it's good enough for you.
That's right. Nate Cody Jones doesn't attach his name to just anything. I'll tell you that. But I will also tell you that that website is patreon.com/core show, and our website is frogpants.com/core. But bookmark core.show. I'm telling you, something rad's coming. That's all I'm saying. I can't say much else. I'm just saying something rad is coming, and it's not going to change. The show is the show. You're going to get what you love, but you're going to get a whole lot more soon. That's all I can tell you. Oh, and sorry about the spam, the erroneous spam a bunch of you got last week. That was a mistake. I was testing some things. Oops. Sorry. Anyway, that is going to do it for us. Grandma, you need to tell us what we played again, because I'm sure we forgot to mention a couple of these.
Well, I understand you forgot all the games they talked about, so here they are. Battlefield 6.
Yeah.
Superliminal. Scott beat that one. It's a rare occurrence, but he did it.
Yep.
Battlesuit Aces. He also talked about yet another Zombie Survivors, Geometry Survivor, Dungeon Clawler, and Slots and Daggers.
Yeah.
John played Dispatch, Outer Worlds 2, Absolum, It Has My Face. Bo found a way to talk about World of Warcraft even without talking about World of Warcraft. What an age we live in, and that game was called Fellowship. He also played No Man's Sky, Ball X Pit, Farthest Frontier, and Void Crew.
Holy shit, what a list. Go play all the games you guys can stand between now and next week. Have a very safe... No, we'll have a day before Halloween. Maybe we shall dress up next week, and John can wear that hat again or something.
Yeah, I wear my hat again.
Yeah, that'll be the
I
day
might
before.
redo the tape so it looks less bootsy, but, you know, that's what we got.
I like it. I put one in the Discord, a little snap of you, and I hope it lives forever.
I saw what a flattering picture you chose of me.
Well,
Scott.
you
Thank
tend to
so
you
much.
blinked right when I snapped it, so I don't know who to blame there. Anyway, that's it. We did it. Thanks everybody for being here. We'll be back next week with more. Thanks for listening. We'll see you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.